everyone, welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Geekery. Of course, what we want to do is say first thing is happy Mother's Day, of course. So it's Mother's Day and all the special ladies that take care of us when we need them and are there for us. So, all the moms that talk to the kids. So,
Something wrong with your microphone, or is it just me?
nope.
No,
Right
there you're back now.
I'm back now. Yep. Was
there you go.
Was I fading in and out or something?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good now. Thank you.
Only ethically.
Only ethically. Yep.
Ethnic,
But,
ethically, sorry.
If everyone didn't hear me, saying happy Mother's Day. I don't think Mom is watching tonight, but maybe someday she'll make appearance in the chat. But happy Mother's Day to all those special ladies out there that take care of us, and yeah, it's a really great day for to give them the recognition they deserve. But welcome to Clobbering Times and Maddie's Daddy, and then Courtney will be joining us a little bit too, hopefully. So
I only turn on my camera because Nick is here, and Nick always goes on camera. So in honor of Nick, my camera
Is Nick
on.
here? There he is.
yeah,
Hey,
Nick,
congratulations, Nicholas, for your hitting your 1,000. Dude, what are you doing, man? You should be visiting with us.
Yeah,
Probably
Nick. I think he's got the link. No link.
Well, I know he's a busy man.
Yeah, no pressure. Yeah. If you want to
Hang-
hop in and say
hang
hi,
on, I'll get him.
Congrats.
Okay.
There you go.
And now Maddie's calling, so I have to cut out for a minute.
Wow, Maddie's using the phone.
be
Wow,
back.
it's amazing.
She knows how to use the phone.
She's a smart kid.
She's real smart.
Wow, gee. These kids start early. Wow, that's amazing.
Congrats,
Yep.
congrats, Nicholas, buddy.
Yeah, that's pretty
great, man.
awesome. Yeah, all of a sudden, all those subs, you were at 950, Nick, and then you flew up
Yeah,
there, which is awesome. So yeah, so
great stuff, dude.
hail to Nick Weiser, our buddy, who's going to be able to, I'm assuming, monetize soon, which is great. But yeah, and but of course, do those StreamYard chats through PayPal. It's direct anyway, but I don't want to get in trouble for saying that. But yeah, no, Nick, it's well deserved. That's great channel, a lot of fun, and the preeminent cereal reviewer of cereal, as in food, on YouTube. So yeah, that's great to hear, Nick. And now J-Man says, I'm missing the Highlander 2 on the backdrop. Let's see.
J-Man.
Hail to J-Man. Let's see if, yeah, there's no Highlander 2 in there. Yep. Sorry, I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, we're joking because we were talking the other night reviewing, Doctor Strange, and over-under on when I would mention Highlander 2 and tease J-Man was 60 minutes, I guess. So,
Yep.
But, so, and let's see who else we want to shout out in the chat. Of course, Courtney. We got Captain Skywalker here. So, and he picked up. Yeah, it was Free Comic Book Day today. So, got 3 comics on Free Comic Book Day. JLA yesterday. Yep, JLA 75.
I forgot all about it. Not that I ever go anyway.
Yeah,
they don't give anything good out. What they put? 75. The death of that modern trash.
Let's see.
World's
what
Finest
that
1 and 2.
I'll Google that. Yep. JLA Death of the Justice League. That might be new stuff. Yep.
That is, but I mean, the new World's Finest book. I don't know. I have to ask Claude about that.
Sometimes they do reprints, which is cool. Like I've gotten classic issues on.
J-Man, no, he cannot add it at all.
Right.
There'll be no adding Highlander 2 around here.
Yeah, Highlander 2 does not exist in this dojo.
That's not a command because I'm not the boss. He's the boss, but I just know he would never do that.
Yeah. I don't want to compromise myself there. Yeah.
Hey, Salty
All
Texas.
good fun,
see?
yeah.
Look at that. Salty Texas is here.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What's up, Salty? Thank you for hopping by on Sunday night. Yep. And yeah, J-Man says it's brand new. And hey, who we've got Polly's minion here. So let's put up
me and Pupper.
And the Pupper. Yep. So let's put up, if I can find it fast enough. All these. I got too many things in my. Here we go. Hopefully the show is Truck Dog approved. So hail to Polly's minion and Trucker. Yep, that's the Truck Dog.
And that's Clobbering Time's official mascot, of course.
Yeah.
The great Kal-El's here, dude. All right, buddy. Good to see you, man.
Well, that's great. Yep. Hey, Kello.
Yeah,
Good to see you.
Yeah, dude. So
Let me put in AM's
Computer.
website here. Or excuse me, I should say YouTube.
How about
YouTube.
adding Superman 3? Dude, what's wrong with you? Superman 3. I mean, what's better than Highlander 2 at least? Well,
Yes. Superman 3
but
is
it's
much better than
a tough
Highlander
race,
2.
but
Yeah. Highlander 2 does not exist. Yeah. But unfortunately, we all have a sad note this day. We knew this day was coming. That George Perez unfortunately passed away. I think we were, last Sunday Night Geekery, we were actually obviously talking about
2 weeks in a row, man.
2 weeks
Neil
in a row.
Adams and then George Perez. Jesus.
Yep, very, very sad. So, it's a tough.
J-Man says, I love Superman 3. J-Man, we're going to have a talk one day, man. We're just going to have a talk, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, it's 3. The other guy wasn't a comic book artist per se, I don't think, but the guy that did the Doctor Strange.
Well, James,
Dr. Savage.
Yeah, James Bond was mostly a fantasy artist, but the week before it was him.
Yep.
Right. Then it was, and he was a legendary, fantasy artist for sure.
Pretty iconic,
right? Then it was, but for comics alone, man, it's Neil Adams and George Perez. Now we knew about Perez. We kind of had a little bit of warning on it.
Yeah, I think that last post,
talked about it.
Said he was sleeping most of the day.
Week before that, for months we knew. Remember, we even did a show about it. And then, but
He's
Neil
been sick for a while.
Neil, we've been hearing a few things here and there, but that was still relatively unexpected.
Yeah,
I saw him about.
So sad. Yeah.
I saw Neil Adams about 3 or 4 years ago, and he seemed as healthy as a horse. And I remember thinking, this guy's going to live forever.
Yes, yeah. It was, but you're right. J-Man doesn't make it easier for about Perez. Because he was just an amazing artist. I mean, the super team. No one was the better super team artist. And it's in terms of how many. Listen, this is a guy. How many artists had relatively good, decent stints on no less than the 2 flagship teams, Fantastic Four, Avengers, and for DC, for Marvel, and then for DC, Justice League and New Teen Titans. I mean, that's huge. That's a lot. And of course, he did a lot of other great stuff. I'm saying the ultimate team artists.
And he was only 67, so he must have started really young in the industry.
One of his first stints, of course, he actually did Inhumans for a while before one of his earlier stints there, and he did Logan's Run, the comic for Marvel, and then he did White Tiger, did a lot of stuff really before he did the Fantastic Four, and did later Avengers. But yeah,
I think I have all of those. I think I have the White Tiger, his Inhumans. I'm pretty sure I do.
He did White Tiger usually in the back of one of those magazines, one of those Deadly Hands of Kung Fu mags or whatever. And amongst other things, I guess, he used to pop up Peter Parker too before it's Perez.
Yeah, that must be where it was.
Yeah.
He was. I started buying comic books. The Avengers. He was the artist on the Avengers. It was just before they introduced Orca and Hellcat.
Yep, they had a pretty good run on there too. Fairly long run on there. Not quite as long as on, and then it wasn't quite as long as his run on FF, but it was real similar. They're both similar in number, I guess. And then when he went to Justice League, that one I would like him to have lasted longer on that one, but it still was nice. And of course, that New Teen Titans run, was huge. Love it.
Yeah, New Teen Titans.
Prolific work. Yep, and a huge body of work too. It's and
yes, he was prolific.
Yep.
Yeah, he drew one of my Clobby Nose, and Mark might remember one of my favorite all-time comics. I should say issues of Teen Titans.
You like that Who Is Donna Troy issue?
Yeah, I really did. I mean, it's the first time you really got to see Robin having learned the detective skills from Batman. other than just kind of other than just saying, okay, Teen Titans go, being in charge. And then it showed emotion, like when Donna Troy hugged him, and said, "I love you, Dick." Very few times up to that point in comic books where a beautiful woman said, "I love you" to a male character, and didn't mean it in terms of romantic love,
Right.
And then the story with her husband Terry, I believe was his name.
Terry Long, the most annoying character in comics history, some have said.
But but I mean, he said, he basically, hey, Monkey
Jeebus.
He hired Dick Grayson or Robin to find out where his fiance came from, and that was a really nice twist, because I'm sure, because the other things that are sort of under the surface there are, you think this guy would be jealous of a superhero, when he's just a common ordinary guy, and his girlfriend or fiance is a superhero.
Yes. No, good stuff. Good stuff. And that was a good long run on that series from Wolfman and Perez did on New Teen Titans.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
the Catman's here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find all the Perez art or books. They list them once without the accent. That's why I only got 17 issues. Perez, yep. So let's see. This should list more of my comic book program. Hey, Catman.
Good to see you, Catman, aka D.D. Myers.
So I've got I only got to meet George Perez once, which is lucky, very lucky to do that. I'm sure, Clobby, you met him a few times,
and
then Steve. But let me show. Well, first I'll show. This has always been one of my favorite. Favorite issues of FF and great covers. Let's see if I get the glare out of the way there. And, I got to go meet Perez. So he was coming to the local comic book shop in 2005. And it's a hole in the wall. No offense, but, hole in the wall, very small. Small in size, I shouldn't say hole in the wall, but very small shop. So you've got George Perez, one of the legends of comics, coming to the small shop, which is fantastic. Paul, I guess the owner had some connections to Perez, either his age, I can't remember, but somehow got him to go, and there was no charge. And of course, God, we were psyched to see him there. So we could bring 5 books to get signed at a time, and George said, I guess they were talking at the beginning of the show or the meeting. So, okay, guys, you can do 5 books, and you're welcome to get back on the end of the line, and George will keep signing, but he's only can be here, I guess, for a couple hours or 2 or 3 hours. And, but we're limited to 5 books at a time just to give everyone a shot. And of course, it didn't turn out to be that many people in the end, so you can keep getting online. But he said, George, just so he can sign everyone's books, he's not doing sketches today. Somebody might be disappointed, but we just, can sign whatever you want. And I talked to him about this cover, and I just said, I just love this cover and how the design here. It's just, you get so much emotion. He's like, yeah, that's one of my favorite covers too. And of course, if I zoom in, you can see his signature above the bugle there. So this hangs on my wall. It's one of my, favorite comics. And this cover always resonated with me. I can't describe it in words adequately, but there was something about it that just really, it's a 10 cover. Just
I love it.
Yeah, just that expression there. So we're online and getting things signed. And I told my son, I brought my son Charlie with me, and so I said, Charlie, I'll show another couple books that were signed. So I said, Charlie, Mr. Perez, or George Perez, call him Mr. Did Cyborg, that you watch on Teen Titans every Saturday morning. Of course, my kids, we were, always made sure we watched all the cartoon shows and had fun doing that. So I said, he's the guy that draws, Cyborg. I said, well, maybe you could ask him to draw Cyborg for you. But this is before I knew, they were going to say, hey, there's no drawings or no sketches, sketches today. So we get on the line, And I've got my books to get signed. Of course, I had I'll show this more closer, but I have all the Infinity Gauntlets covers that he did signed by George. I'll show that in a second. So we're getting on the line. And so Charlie, I think it was 2005, so he's 4 years old, thereabouts, 4 or 5. And he's like, Mr. Perez, can you please draw me a picture of Cyborg? And that little cute, I can't do that little cute voice. And he's like, Charlie, he's like, that's your name? He's like, yes, you just asked me. It was so nice the way you just asked me. He's like, I'm really not supposed to draw any sketches today, but you just asked me so nicely. And how can I turn down a young fan like that, right? So when he's like, I just want you to know, Charlie, that he's not going to look exactly like you see him on the cartoon because, my version of Cyborg looks a little bit different. So so this is what George drew for Charlie. Nice. And it's, 2005 nice. George Perez. And God bless, George. And he drew this awesome, sketch for Charlie. Just and I love watching the artists as they work, just to create that out of nothing. And hey, it's a simple sketch, but it's a gorgeous sketch. It's just so cool, and just seeing it come to life. And of course, this is before everyone was doing cell phones every second and taking a million pictures. So I don't even think we have any pictures of that day. I have to check, but with George, I think back in 2005, what kind of pictures myself? Well, maybe it's a flip phone. I can't remember now. But it's ingrained in my memory anyway, which is the most important. But so this hangs on my son's wall, and of course I did make a copy of it. I scanned it so I can maybe I'll print another one to put on my wall too to have. But just a great memory. And then of course after George did this sketch, all the kids down the line, I think all the dads were like kicking their kids, like, ask George to do a sketch. So finally he's like, screw it, all right, sketches for everyone, but only one sketch. We ended up being, I think, only like 30 to 50 people there that day. So it wasn't like there were 200 people online waiting for sketches, and it was no charge. I mean, there was no charge for this. So it's a priceless memory. That's the most important thing. Oh, hey Sherry, great to see you.
Sherry, lovely Sherry.
And Monkey says his friend Kimberly was a model for him. Well, that's nice to know. Yep. So so it's it's a great fun story. And of course, pancreatic cancer, unfortunately, is near and dear to my heart. I'm wearing my F cancer tonight from Arrow, Stephen and Mel from Arrow. My dad passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2016, and that was the same cancer that George had. So I'll post the pancreatic cancer website. We can donate PurpleStride to help fight that. And I know the Hero Initiative did some work as well. So yeah, it's just a fun story. It's bittersweet tonight, but what a great guy. He could have said, screw all you guys, I'm not doing sketches tonight. I'm tired. It's a Saturday afternoon. What do I have to, And he spent a lot of time with people and talked to people. People were getting their omnibuses signed, which was great to see. I wish I'd had one of those, to bring. I had enough stuff signed anyway. I'm not complaining, but his omnibus or a couple of beautiful books, people getting signed by George. So that was a great, great memory. And then that's on Charlie's wall. And he's actually, I got to talk to him. He's in Italy right now, coming home. So I don't even know if he, I'm sure they got the news over there. And of course, this is I'll show this again, the Infinity Gauntlet. So that hangs on my wall too, signed by Mr. Perez. So all-time classic cover and classic storyline. Of course, we know how it's been interpreted. I wish they stuck closer to the to the comic, but hey, it's
Dave. What's up, Dave?
Art. Hey, Dave, great to see you. So I thought I'd show these again, and these are some of my favorite comics that's on the wall, and just one of the greatest artists of all comic history. So obviously we'll talk about him a lot tonight. I know you're doing a special show tomorrow night, but
Big tribute tomorrow night. Yeah.
but you can't. I mean, that cover is just so well done, so amazing. And yes, to my brother-in-law, that is Thanos. That's not Red Skull. I've told that before. Where he was arguing with me about at the end of Avengers, who appeared at the end of the Avengers. Like, the Red Skull is back. Like, no, it's not the Red Skull. How do you know? You're sure the kid? Like, my lad was like, who's got more comic books in their basement? He's like, all right, you win, Mark. So, yeah, so that's my little tale of meeting George Perez and getting to spend a little time with him, ask him a few questions. But yeah,
that's
so
Monkey Jeebus says that George blocked me on Facebook, but unblocked me and sent me an apology when he found out I was friends with her. With her?
Well, I guess he had a friend who was modeled for George Perez, I guess, as a model. So he had a friend. He says early in the chat, friend Kimberly was a model for him.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's it. But what did you do to get blocked by him? What did you say?
Who was the model? Kimberly Marvel?
I'm not sure. Yep. If he...
My friend Kimberly was a model for him. Is that Kimberly Marvel? Anyway. Well,
you'll let us know. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that part, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So tough times for the comic book world, but yeah, great memories though. To say for great artists and even it sounds like even you meet someone just for a few minutes, but it sounds like everyone really loves the guy too. It sounds like everyone who
Kimberly Jane. Okay, I like her. Cool.
Phantom, you didn't get blocked by Dan Slott. I'm gonna block you.
You gotta be. You're not on Twitter then, because if you ever interact with me or Mark, you're gonna be banned by Dan Slott. He uses block bots, dude. I never interact with him. He blocked me.
Yeah, I wanted to go tell him how much I loved all his work, and nope, blocked me. Yeah. You're the best ever. Yeah, that's what's so stupid about these blockchains that people use. It's hey, if someone is abusive to someone on Twitter, calls.
That's not what they use it for, though.
That's not what they use it for. That it should be. Yeah, I don't like blocking, but hey, if you're gonna be disrespectful or call, go over there's a line, and sometimes you can do that. But I think people pretty much know how nice of a.
If you follow certain people that person thinks is a bad person, they can use those blockchains or block bots.
Yeah,
and that's why you're blocked, and that's why I'm blocked. We follow somebody that little pansy doesn't like. Well, you know what? I don't like him anyway, so screw Dan Sloth. Dan Sloth is a piece of drivel who last thing he wrote good was 20 years ago.
I did like Superior Spider-Man, but he still blocked me.
Disqualifying you from liking it. I'm just kidding.
Oh God, I know. But yeah, that's what gets you too. It's like, that's what I wrote on Twitter. Right. It's like, gee, how is that to treat well, I guess it's going on 40 plus years now of behind the FF and comics, and you ban someone, yeah, just ban them if they threaten things or there's certain things we all know and we'll say that I don't disagree with blocking people do that, but if you're just having a cogent discussion or ask a question that's a fair question, you see all these people getting blocked or deleting things.
Damn, Kal-El. He says I've blocked more accounts on Twitter than I have followers. Wow.
I usually just ignore things and let it.
I haven't had to block too many people yet, but
let it slide. Yeah, just don't bother with it. It's just. But well, how about you've met him a few times? Do you have any stories?
Who, Perez?
About meeting Perez, or just any
he was always pretty amicable, always pretty nice. I got him to sign I got a framed. He did a beautiful New Teen Titans poster back in the 80s. It was huge. They were selling it. A friend got me one framed, and I gave it to Claude, but I got him to sign it first, if I remember right. I think it was Claude. I know I gave the thing to Claude, but
okay.
I think I got him to sign that, if I'm remembering right. And my one memory for sure is at Dallas Fantasy Fair 1994. I witnessed him getting about something like 20 grand from Rob Liefeld for the 40 some odd pages from the unfinished original Justice League Avengers crossover. And that was they told us they'd met the previous week in South Carolina or whatever and agreed on that price for the original art pages, that because that book never came out because it was scheduled and it was planned and a lot of it was drawn and plotted and all that stuff. And then Jim Shooter, who was just a jagoff, and he was pissed off that Wolfman and that Perez and others had left Marvel because they were already at DC when it was going to be made.
Yep.
And he just kind of, it was DC's turn to do it, and he pissed all over it and never happened. So those pages were just existed for, he just had the pages, and I guess he never finished it until they did it later when they did the whole thing. So Rob Liefeld handed him about 20. We got to look at the pages.
And you saw them there.
Oh yeah. Didn't get to look at them that close, but we got to see them. Well, we were standing there, they were just standing there, and they were changing the pages and stuff. And he did George let us look at them for a second. But
nice. Yeah. So that was for $20,000.
It's about 20 grand, I think that's what they said. Yeah,
for 40 pages. Yep.
Yeah, 40 pages of George Perez original art that'll never.
Well, now how much is that? That was a good investment.
It'll never be published.
Needs the money.
Yeah, he don't need it. But
but back then we probably
thought we didn't still have it.
Yeah, it's something like that. You hopefully would never sell. But the
price astronomical. I don't know how you put a price on it. I can't remember. It's 40 something pages. If it's that many, it's a lot. I know the exact number of unpublished George Perez art with both the Justice League and the Avengers on it. You tell me what that's worth. I mean, inconceivable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just pissed that the book never came out. They did it later, but it came out. When it came out again, that's why I was so pissed off. When the book finally was redone later, and even though I love Buscett, it's work. I didn't like the rosters, and they had I wanted it done. I wanted it done from that old roster, both of the old rosters of the teams.
Yeah. Yep, would have been fun. Yep. Now, did those pages ever get released, or I can't remember now? The original ones.
What
so
now?
People did they ever release those pages on it? No, it's never been.
No, I mean, bits and pieces have been seen, but in magazines, not the whole thing. He said, he said, I got mad at George for canceling San Diego Comic-Con because he was at FetCon. He did always go to FetCon, which is on the other side of the country. True, he did do that. He also, look, he's a human being. He made his mistakes. He was, the way he acted after 2016, without going into details, that was pretty despicable too, but still, you forgive. That's an important thing.
No, that was, I don't know if he ever
uncalled for.
Did he ever apologize for that? I
don't know. Maybe I know he didn't. He wasn't able to follow through on his threat that he made because of contracts, probably.
Yeah. He said he wouldn't go to any states that voted for a certain person. I think. Yeah. It's like, well, what about the people in the state that
voted a certain way? He was
didn't vote for the person.
Right. He was going to cancel his appearances in certain states that win a certain color, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
As in red. And they voted for a certain person that he hates. It's orange. And then he had to back off on that because he probably had contracts and shit.
Yeah.
It was just it was a classic TDS thing. And I can't, it really aggravates me, but I don't want to be like the TDS people. So I don't hold a grudge or hate him. I just, and I still love him as an artist, and I'm sad he's passed. But it's just, you hear stuff like that. But
well, people learn too, hopefully, from those kind of things.
I hope he learned.
You have a gut reaction. Maybe you think you're doing the right thing, and when you think it through,
well, that was purely childish. But it's comic book artists. No one ever said comic book artists.
Yeah. Hey, we're just big kids too, right? So, right? Reading all these funny books. Yep.
Funny book. You bought him damn funny books, boy.
So, Steve, did you ever get to meet Mr. Perez or?
No, the only comic book artists I've ever met were Kevin McGuire and Neil Adams.
Only two? The only ones?
I think so. Yeah, I met more animators and actors. Probably there aren't a lot. The cons that I have gone to out here, there haven't been a lot of comic book artists.
Okay, that makes sense.
Kevin McGuire. There are some who I don't know. I think they do more like what do you call it? Japanese comics, not anime.
Manga.
Manga, yeah. There's a lot of manga stuff out here, and that's not my thing. So yeah, I think Neil Adams and Kevin McGuire were the only ones, and nobody. Like I could talk to them as long as I wanted to because nobody seemed to know who they were.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing about the comic book artists and writers. Most of them are very approachable because to you, if they did your comics, you love that. That's like a star to you, but it's not like a million people in line to see them like a celebrity, like an actual celebrity or anything.
Right.
I met so many that it's just a list of the few that I've never got to meet that really bugged me out that I didn't get to meet.
Yeah, I haven't met a ton of artists, but been to the certain cons, and and then artists would come to that store too, so which is great.
Store signings
great to meet. Yeah, so store signings those are the best too, I think, because they're usually not too, depending on the size of the store, not too.
Remember
not
when
too
Free
crazy,
Comic Day used to be a big event?
Oh God, that was so great!
And that was yesterday, and no one just forgets about it now.
Well, there's no stores near me. I guess I
do.
could have gone to. I could have gone to the. I was too busy yesterday.
I guess some stores still do events for it.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine's shop, he used to.
Well, then there's a store about half hour from me that I could drive to, and if I was more motivated, I should have gone yesterday. But it was rainy. I had to help my mom do some things, and I guess I have enough comic books to grab another stack of free ones. But it's a great idea, Free Comic Book Day. I mean,
Wagner. Well, yeah, people make a big deal out of it. Hey, Wagner. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Wagner?
Wagner. Yep. We're trying. Yep.
Well, they don't. But you know what? They usually don't give you anything good though. The freebies are always crap. Not always.
It was overpriced. Yeah.
But the thing is, you know what? The comic retailer doesn't get those free. By the way, they have to buy them.
Oh, they have to buy them, the free ones?
Yes, they do. They don't get them free.
You're kidding.
No, sir. They don't. They have to, and that's why there's tons of times you'll see all the ones that are offered free, and you'll go to a shop, and if it's a teensy dealer, they're not all there. And he has to buy big loads of them, too.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
He's got to give them free.
Buy them? I mean, these
not full,
comic industries.
Not full like a regular issue, but yeah, they have to pay for it.
I mean, they should cut, that's a promotion to help promote the industry. I mean, that's what I was going to say. It's such a great idea because then you give away these comics and then and you
well, the retailer go free my ass. They always say, "Oh, Jesus, dude, really free?" It ain't free for them, and that's why they're pretty stingy on some of that stuff. And then they end up stuck with a bunch of crap too, because they'll lay out the free comics. I don't know if Steve, if you've ever been to a free comic book day, but they'll lay them out. Well, they'll lay them out. They usually do it now they're back doing it in May, but for a couple of years because what else has been going on. They've been two in one epic collection. That can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Love those.
That's awesome. Yep.
So they lay it out, and a lot of them are just stuff you go, I don't really care about that. And then other ones you might have heard were going to come out, but I did hear that so and so was doing a free comic of that. That I want, and that's not there, of course, because people, depending on what time the day people get there, sometimes they'll let people grab multiple copies. It just depends on where you go. But they make an event of it, Some stores make a nice event of it. They get a signing, they get a bunch of comics artists and writers or whatever, or they have like a big sale where they put a bunch of back issues outside. They have like a buddy of mine. He did like a block party a couple of times, like a big small little fair that he had going on in a big event. With he used to get Mike Grell to come to it, and he would get a couple different artists and stuff, and like a mini con type thing. It used to be really. Every place does it differently. Other ones just when you go and say, "You guys gonna have any of the free comics?" Then I will have some of them.
Wow.
So I don't even know what was free yesterday.
Here, I'll show you. I mean, to me,
it's a list of them.
I got it here. Yeah, but it was it's a great, great idea. I think to do that.
Good luck getting them all.
As a promotion, I think, wow, that's fantastic, right? You want, and especially they did in May. Usually, there's when Spider-Man was coming out. I think I remember it was the first one for Raimi Spider-Man, if I'm remembering right.
I've rarely gotten anything that I cared about on free. I could grab the ones that were there, and in fact, hey, grab 5 of them, and I go, I don't even see 5 I want.
Well, there were some Star Wars ones I remember people wanting, and then at one point they had, I think, didn't they have a comic tie into Spider-Man that actually it was out of chronological order, and then it became part of the series later. Like it didn't make sense the time that it came out. I don't know if someone will remember that in the chat.
Which one?
But there was a Spider-Man comic at one point that came out, and it was out of sequence in terms of publishing date, so it made sense like 6 months into the year when you read it.
Okay.
I'll
I can't remember,
Google
but I
it, or
believe you.
maybe
I'm sure it
if
has.
we got Phantom in the crowd, or maybe someone will remember. But my rusty memory, I'll Google it. But I think it had a white cover, but it was like a big deal to try to get that comic
Buffy.
because it's about Stranger Things,
Stra-
Turtles,
Captain Underpants.
Yep, kids
Turtles.
love
That's
that
a
stuff.
small Turtles book, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks pretty small. Yep, IDW
Okay.
special. I don't know
None
who
of this
that
looks
is.
anything. I would probably pick up none of these. Doctor Who, and it's modern
Venom.
news. So
Yep.
Spider-Man and Venom.
Well, it's in black.
Golden
Doctor
Cover.
Who's in mourning over the death of Doctor Who.
The new yeah, exactly.
I don't know what this is.
Kaiju.
I'm not sure. Yep.
Look at all this. None of this looks interesting to me, but it's
The Devil Dinosaur.
Three Stooges. I would have grabbed that one.
You would have grabbed the Stooges.
Yeah. I would have grabbed it if I was there. Now, some of these guys don't get rid of them all, so I go to the shop. They'll have them. They have one of my friend's shops got stuff from 2 years ago, Free Comic Book Day, sitting around in this big old stack. Hollow.
Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Red Sonja.
Red
Oh my
Sonja.
God!
We would have grabbed that.
That's a reprint of the first issue. I bet I can't find that sucker anywhere.
That's a cool one, right?
Oh
Yep.
man! Well, see, because that's Dynamite. Marvel originally printed that. They don't own the Red Sonja thing anymore. So Dynamite's. What's that text right there? Oh, I grabbed that.
Who's that?
I don't know, but I like that cover. I probably would grab that.
Yeah.
Of course, they'll all be gone now.
Donald Duck.
I might have to go look for them, I guess.
Overstreet Guide, collecting comics.
The overpriced Comic Street Guide still coming out, huh?
I don't know any of
Rima
these.
Chronicles.
Sonic.
Sure, that
there
did
we
well.
go. Walking Dead, yep.
Equilibrium.
Cover Not Final. I have no idea what that is. Yep.
What is it with these Marvel blank covers?
I don't know. Avengers X-Men #1. Marvel Voices.
Shauna.
Fuzzy
Although-
Baseball.
Fuzzy Baseball. Huh?
Although all the good cover artists are dead.
That's right. Marvel won't pay for a cover artist.
2000 AD. Yeah.
About 2000 AD, still pumping them out.
Winchester Mystery House. If you know that story, that's allegedly the Winchester Rifle Company. That company.
Oh, cool.
Where the owner lived, and the house is cursed allegedly, and there's a movie called Winchester House. I gotta watch that. Yeah. 10-ton press. 10-ton Tales. I don't know what that is. Street Fighter. I mean, sometimes you grab a few and they're fun to read. Valiant.
Bloodshot. Valiant. Yeah, it's Valiant.
Yeah.
Bloodshot there.
Pokemon.
Babarick. Enemies.
Is it barbaric?
Could be. I couldn't see it. Can't really see it there. I got the damn
Barbaric,
screen so far off. Okay.
Yeah, Monkey.
Oh,
Was saying,
yeah. Sorry.
She kept building to keep the ghosts from getting her in the house. Yeah. Enemies. Yep. So
Pokemon.
all right. So
that's
I mean,
all.
it's generally skewed towards
No
young
DC?
kids,
DC
which it
didn't
should be.
participate?
I don't see any
Well, that
DC
figures
books, do
because
you?
they don't. Must be a Diamond thing now because I think DC did have some, but they must have went through someone else because they don't. Didn't Diamond lose DC distributorship?
I think
Pretty
so.
sure.
Yeah.
So you have to go through someone else now. So maybe you should have to pull up the DC free comic book day. I'm sure they participated. Garbage though they are.
Yeah, well, here's
Because I
free
think someone-
comic book day.
someone
yeah,
here
I'm
mentioned it.
surprised.
I mean,
Surprising.
the whole purpose of free comic book day is just to get people into the shops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like it's like a
Sure.
publicity marketing.
Yeah.
strategy.
It's a big. It started out with just nothing to it at all, and it just became something where, and it was nice, comic shops could make a big deal about it and have a, like I said, have a big to do. Some of them would, some of them wouldn't. Some of them made like huge events for it, and it was used to be kind of fun to go to it.
Oh,
Problem is,
here's
if you
the
went-
covers. Yeah, sorry. Here's the
That's right.
covers for some of those that were missing. I guess that list came out maybe before the covers were released. So there's the
okay.
Spider-Man one, and here's the Doctor Who cover.
Okay.
When did Free Comic Day start?
Oh, good lord.
Was it in the 2000s?
I want to say the 2000s, or at
I
least
thought
the
it was for
late
when Spider-Man.
90s.
I just remember when Spider-Man.
Yeah, when the first Spider-Man movie came out, maybe
in the 90s, I think. Well, let's see
no,
if
that
they
would
have
be
it on their
that'd be
website. Let's see.
2000.
That'd be about
You know,
2000, yeah.
Fi-
I think it was around 2000
2001.
when this started, but I could be way off. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know. I wasn't.
Oh,
Well, I
first
stopped-
comic,
I
2002.
wasn't in the business. Okay, 2000. There you go.
Sorry about
I
right.
was
Yeah.
not in,
Spider-Man out.
yeah, I was not in
2001.
the biz.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't remember the whole story behind it. It just kind of, no one really paid much attention to it till after a couple of years, and then it became, like I said, became a big event.
Yeah,
Oh, it was 2002. That's what I thought. Yeah, 2002.
Spider-Man
So it
came
was
out in 2002.
Yeah, because the Twin Towers were in that.
Right.
I remember they
holding
took. I
up.
remember they took down the trailer that had him trapping a helicopter between the Twin Towers. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, let's see if they have. I think it was in May too. So and that was such a huge.
May 4, 2002. Thank you, Vakillo.
I stopped buying comics after Klobby closed his shop. I picked up a couple. Here and there. And I mean, when I say a couple, I mean like one or two a year. If I just saw something that was, looked really cool. But once they went over $1, I said, "That's it." I'm not going to do it. Not so much because it was too expensive for me, but because, kids. When I was a kid, when you guys were kids, we liked buying comics, and if you price them, if you're outpricing kids, then you're depriving people of something they really enjoy for money.
Oh, it was getting pretty crazy with the prices.
Yeah, I bought a lot of comics. Klobby turned me on to the Simons and Thor, and I still remember you saying it's a really goofy name. It's Beta Ray Bill, but it's still a good story.
Yeah, it still always rubbed me as goofy, kind of that name.
It is goofy. You're right.
It's okay though.
Oh yeah, I expected it to be like a
character.
parody. I expected it to be a parody comic.
Yeah.
Um,
When I first
you
read
also-
that name, I'm like, what the hell?
You also turned me on to the new Teen Titans.
Oh, I got a lot of people reading that. I remember when it came out. It was
Yep.
it was been around when we first started Mouthland. It had been around for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember I started buying it from the first issue. Actually, DC Comics Resist 26 was the first appearance.
Wait. When
yeah.
Southland was at the little tiny building.
Yes.
I'm doing this with my hands, y'all, because this is the actual size of this building.
Yes. It was a little.
So that literally a hole in the wall.
It was no. There was no wall to be a hole in. It was a shed.
It was a shed. Yeah.
Literally,
shed.
I mean, not making it up. It was a
There were 2 walls and a register.
Sometimes
Well, I guess
those are
4
the
walls.
best places. You get the best meals in places like that.
We
Yeah.
had no air condition.
That's where I met Klobby.
Yeah, buddy, and it was there was no air condition. You could barely fit anything in there, and we had we're right in front of a busy street,
Mm-hmm.
and next to a stop and go, which was like a 7-Eleven type thing back then.
Yeah.
Like a small time republic. What were some of the other comics that you got started reading back then, Steve? I know you read probably just
Well, I was
just
already Hail Small Time.
Yeah, small time. Yep.
I was already reading the Avengers regularly, the X-Men regularly.
yeah.
Superman and Batman and some of those things, fairly regular. I was more of a Marvel guy. But the two that I remember that you mostly got me into was the Simonson Thor, the new Teen Titans, and Miracle Man. You told me about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That was late. That'd be later at the shop, my shop, probably.
Yeah, I think you told me. Yeah, I think it was you who told me about the American.
Could be Dark Horse by Mark Verheiden.
Yeah, my brother used to play cards with him.
I don't know where he is now, but I remember that comic.
Well, wasn't he
was
involved
one of the
with
black and white
Smallville?
comics. He did write for Hollywood, so yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if he worked on that show or not. But
I thought I remember seeing his name on the credits on a fairly regular basis.
he wrote for Hollywood. And that was a Dark Horse comic, The American.
Right. Yeah, it was a good comic book. Have you ever heard of The American, Mark D?
I think I've heard of that one. Yeah, yeah. So
it's basically sort of along the lines of what they did with what Alan Moore did with Miracle Man.
Like
Clubby, you did
redo.
Clubby,
Hmm?
yeah, redo, but sort of explaining everything, like the American. He'd keep getting shot, and then he'd keep coming back. Oh, and bulletproof, and then we found out it was a government thing where they had all these big athletic guys, and they all had plastic surgery to look the same. So the world believed that there was a superhero and that he was American. Clobby, you also got me, involved. Or not involved. You also got me reading The Watchmen.
Oh, yeah. And then you know what
Uh,
else? I think the Justice League too. I
no,
mean, the
no,
later
just
Justice League International. Remember when they brought it back with Kevin McGuire?
yes, yep, with McGuire, yeah.
Yeah.
So some of that. Oh, also Legends, I believe.
Oh, yeah. That was the Byrne miniseries.
Yep. What else? That might have been. I think everything else was stuff because I was already buying Spider-Man and Hulk and Avengers and all that stuff from like the
You bought Crisis, I'm sure, huh?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Everyone
don't
bought those.
I don't exactly remember where I started buying when I started buying from you, or when I left. Because I basically had bought them off the spinner rack at
Yeah.
Stop and Go or something.
Remember, after a few years when I left Southland, I was doing other stuff, and then went back and got my shop. So, so there was a gap there. Yeah.
And both times that the time that I met you the first time, and the time that I met you again after a couple of years I was just driving by and I saw comics. And I
Wow.
said, well, let me go check that out. And then I was actually talking to a lady whose name started with V, and she had
Mm-hmm.
a little baby in her crib at Megacity.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and she told me, Clobby owns this
Except there
shop.
was
And
no,
I
that
was like,
wasn't
you're
named
kidding?
Clobby.
I'm sorry.
Except they didn't have the name Clobby yet.
No, I know how you like to kind of
Yeah.
keep things on. Well,
No,
I
I
guess.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, in other words, she told you who she was married to, and you were shocked because I guess. Yeah.
no, I was shocked that. Well, yeah, I was shocked because I hadn't heard anything. I mean,
Mm.
and I was also shocked that because we had fallen. Back in those days, you didn't have a computer.
Yeah, you fall out of contact
So
with people.
yeah, so
Yeah.
if you had exchanged phone numbers, yeah. So
Yep. That's what it was like back then. Yeah.
You had to write a letter, right?
Yeah.
I used to remember writing
address.
letters to all my buddies. We went to college. And we wrote like 2 or 3 letters the first month, and then like that was it. It's like then we called each other once in a blue moon, or you get the cell phone. Wait, it's no cell phone. There's a pay phone on our floor.
Payphone, yeah.
Mark, you got to call. You got to call. And then like after a while, I just didn't buy. And then
How did we
some of
live
us
without
had
these
phones.
phones?
Yeah,
How did we live without these cell phones, dude?
it was tough. It was tough. Yeah. How do we do it? How do we do it? Yeah.
Yeah,
And well,
Monkey.
you mentioned Marvel Man, so I found this in these issues
Oh,
in
yeah.
the basement this week.
I can't believe this, dude. This is amazing.
So I don't remember where I got these. The missus is saying that maybe she found them at a tag sale. Usually I remember buying things, and I was checking the basement for Sunday night or for Clobby's Clubhouse to do some show and tell. And I found this, and it wasn't in a good bag. It was in a bag with holes in it.
Yep, first appearance of Marvel Man and V for Vendetta. It's some of
Oh,
Alan
wow.
Moore's earliest work.
Oh, V for Vendetta. I bought that from you. I believe I bought that from you as well, Clobby.
Oh yeah, because I was, they were when I brought my shop back. That was when DC started to reprint those from Warrior, and then the last couple of because the story never ended, and they finished the story.
So this was just on my shelf. Like I had some magazines and Star Wars, Star Trek calendars, and some Star Trek stuff. And I'm like, in your back of your mind, I'm like, oh yeah, that's crap. I put these there on the shelf, like how many years ago? I don't remember. But yeah, so I'm trying to find some good. I finally got them with backing boards, and probably should get some of these graded, I guess, and slabbed. But the bag is just barely fits. I got to tape it real carefully, and I got a backing board that's too small, so I got to order some oversized ones and cut them down. But because it's a crazy size, it's a little bit bigger than magazine size. It's 8 3/4 by 11 3/4, so it's a crazy size. But I can't. And then when I saw them, I'm like, wait a minute, that jogged in my mind. I'm like, you know,
Nice.
holy crap, this is number one. I'm like, I think that's number
Can't
one.
believe it. That's
I'm
crazy,
like, wait,
man.
what's that doing in
I'm
there?
not sure even I have that anymore. I have a bunch of Warrior. I know Claude, of course, has every issue of Warrior still, probably.
But I was like, what
It's
the,
good about
what the
that,
heck?
keeping those things.
Yeah, usually I miss all the key issues and I'm off by one. You know, and I'm like, you know, normally I would have like issued, you know, 6, 7, and 8 or something, but I was like, wow, that was a lucky one. So the missus is gonna claim. She's like, maybe I got those for you at a tag sale. You know, she'd find stuff at a tag sale, but they're bagged together, 1, 2, and 3, and there was no price on the bag either. Normally there'd be a price, you would think, and the bag it was an oversized bag, but it had holes all like almost like a fruit, you know, thing would have like holes in it. So I didn't even take care. Normally I take care of my stuff really well, but I must have just thrown it in this, you know, magazine section on my shelf.
Holy
And not
rusted
even
metal, Batman.
Yeah.
No. We don't quote that movie.
We don't. We don't.
We don't quote that movie. No, we
I
do
didn't
not.
get the memo.
You wrote the memo.
What? You didn't get the memo? Can we quote that one?
Oh yeah. Good.
Didn't get the memo?
Different Batman movie. Did you get
So
the
which ones are
memo?
we allowed to? So I know we definitely are. If we're not allowed to quote that one, we're definitely not allowed to quote the one. Don't leave home without it.
Oh, God.
We don't even get to refer to that one.
Even two.
As a matter of fact, Mark, mute him for 10 minutes. Put him in.
How about
your
another quote from
agonizer.
it? This is why
Batman
Superman.
timeout.
This is why Superman works alone.
Oh yeah. Horrible movie.
Well, I do have the Clooney Batman 12-inch action figure with nipples. Yep.
Well, nipples. Come
Okay,
off.
that's it. I'm out of
Someone gave it to me though. I did not buy it. It was given to me.
That's better.
You will
As
have
a
to
gift.
explain. You have to explain to Maddie why you have that.
It was a gift. It was a gift. Yep.
Oh crap, that is bad.
You know, as
That is
a
pretty bad.
as a MST movie, it would work, I guess, right? But that wasn't what
Well,
they set out
they
to
riff
do.
tracks. The riff tracks it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Riff
was
tracks is the
telling
only way I can
people,
watch certain movies.
God bless the late departed Jeep Swenson, but I'm like, I was getting so mad in the movie theater. I'm
Keep
like,
Swenson.
what did they do to? And I can't remember names. I can remember he was Bane. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Exactly,
how does
Kal-El.
the human brain work? It's like I have no idea.
No third one is barely worth mentioning.
Yeah.
But see, the Batman Forever had some okay bits in it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, which is campier of those two movies?
Well, the
The
fourth
I mean,
one.
the fourth one. I mean,
Yeah.
Batman
BR.
Forever has the distinction of having the first Batman to ever pick up a weight for his part, to ever go to a gym even once. Because Val Kilmer,
Why couldn't he dye his hair though?
that's a good point. I agree.
Because
No,
he's Val
I'm with
Kilmer
you.
and he had the
I'm with you.
clout not to.
I don't want to see a redheaded invisible girl. I don't want to see,
Blonde Batman.
blonde Batman just doesn't.
I do
work.
like Batman Returns. I have to say, I do like that movie, or Batman Forever. Sorry, the Val Kilmer
Really?
one. I do like that movie. Yep, I love the opening to that. I love a lot of that movie. Yep, it just I don't know. I went to see it with my dad. I had
Have
a
we
great
ever
time.
talked about that, Steve? That movie? I don't know if we ever talked about that.
I don't think we did. I think we blotted it out of our minds as it happened.
Yeah.
There's fans of that movie out there. I'm one of them. So
Well, there are fans of Highlander 2 out there too.
yeah,
so,
but there's only one of
where's
them.
J-Man?
There's only one. There can
There's
only be one.
He's called
There can
J-Man.
be only one.
yes. I, on the other hand, am a lowlander. There can be a few.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hate the Batmobile. Yeah, the first movie. That's the only Batmobile. The
I have a
rest of the
Batman
Batmobiles,
Forever
they
Batmobile telephone,
screwed
by
them
the
up.
way.
Yeah. Well,
Someone gave me that for Christmas.
the Batmobile for Forever had the two wings on the back
It
that
was
went out
ribbed.
like
Like they're ready to fall off. You could see them shaking when they're driving.
Yeah,
Like
you
it's
could,
about
yeah.
ready
It
to
was
fall
ribbed.
off.
but there
It
was
was
an early
ribbed for her
Batmobile that
pleasure.
looked like that. Yeah. Put that on Inside Out.
Shout out.
There was no fourth Batman movie. The third one's barely worth mentioning. I don't even mention the third one. I mean, except for the fact that
Hey, Courtney.
Courtney is back.
Hey, Courtney.
Courtney's
Hey, guys.
here. Yep.
How are
How's
you?
it going? Welcome.
We're about to get into a fist fight over whether or not Batman Forever is worth mentioning.
No, I was kidding.
Why
you know what I hated
oughta.
about Steve? What I hated the most about it, in all seriousness, was the fact that Tom Lee Jones, great actor. So if you're not going to bring back Billy D. Williams, that's one thing. But he just decided to take the character of Two-Face and turn him into the Joker.
Well, I don't think he decided. I mean, I think the director,
what to do,
the director,
Phil Schumacher.
I mean, and I don't know if either one of them understood the character.
No,
the other problem is you have a Robin who's old enough to run for president.
That was that was. I mean,
which was
way too old for Robin.
And he was on a pretty hot movie career there. He was in The Scent of a Woman, and he was in
right.
Was it not a Time to Kill?
I guess for the time though, they'd gotten a lot of heat for There was always got a lot of heat for Robin being so young and Batman taking a young child and So as much as I love young Robin anyway, and I'm fine with that being in those old comic books, I could kind of understand it. So Chris O'Donnell, I thought he did an okay job.
The ladies love that guy. I remember the girls were screaming for him.
They got the meaning of his name wrong though. When he was talking about it, and they said he's talking about his parents, and they said I flew in like a Robin. Suck off. It's supposed to be Robin Hood, dummy. That's what the name's based on, not a bird. Even though they would call him Bird Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, he refers to himself. What's a good sidekick name? Nightwing, Bird Boy.
Bird Boy. Yeah.
Really, dude, you're 27 and you're referring to yourself as Bird Boy. I mean, although
when I last heard you guys talking, you were talking about Steve. You used to get comics from Clobby.
Yes.
I didn't know you guys went back that far. How old were you then?
Very.
I was an embryo.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
We
first met at a comic shop in 1982 or 3. When I was
That's so cool.
I think it was 84, Clobby, but I could be wrong.
Well, Southland opened in 82. If you ever visited the one we were talking about, the first one, with the little the shed, that was 82. We were in there, and then in 83 we moved into the shopping center.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Clobby, Courtney Clobby worked at the world's smallest. I mean, it was a glorified walk-in closet.
The
cashier. I heard you guys talking about it with no air conditioning.
And I
was like, that's so cool.
It's bad. In Louisiana, mind you. So yeah.
And then they went the other extreme, and he moved into a strip mall where the thing was. I think didn't it used to be a fabric store or something like a.
It was next to one. It was next to one.
But it was a big. It was a big.
It was a pretty big shop. We
and then years later, Clobby opened his own place called Megacity.
It was Mega City Comics. He says Megacity.
Because you used to get some parcels delivered. I don't remember if it was comics or what, and they ran the words together, and you always said, "Look at this! They're calling me Megacity." Yeah. So, and that was a fun place
too.
Clobby's comic shop was the most fun comic shop that I've ever been to.
I can imagine. Man.
Yeah, he was the most involved. Man. He was. Yeah, no, absolutely. As a matter, Clobby. We both met a few times. We would have tribble fights.
I had tribbles for sale there. We would throw them at each other. Yeah, we have tribble wars.
Tribble wars, yeah.
I can also just imagine, like, he's so informative about everything. He's been teaching me all this. You guys, all the Star Trek stuff. Like, he's interesting to learn it from. So I can see how that would be like. You'd be
Clobby
a good
deep knowledge of the stuff.
Making me blush.
Clobby always quoted movies to me. Like one time we were going to lunch. I think it was at Ryan's, and I was driving, and we got out, and he said, "You came in that? You're braver than I thought."
We movie quoted each other. Yes, of course. Everyone knows Star Wars.
No, I know you do, but I was sorry.
Or Mark, did you know them that long, or did you know them?
Nope. Just met just a few.
Never actually met. We've known him for 2 years.
I've only known Mark about a year, probably.
Yeah, about a year.
Been on
a little more than a year. Yeah,
not much more than because I was looking. My first stream was April, believe it or not. So time flies when you're having fun. But
I was
hail to Stephen Ransom.
Hail, Stephen.
Yes, that's right.
Hi, Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. Hey there.
Mark said that he was going to do, and I got along with Mark just on Clobby streams because
we're having fun in the chat.
It was like Mark C. When we chatted, we agreed on everything. We were talking about getting together and doing something about how we did like John Burns' writing. Not all of it. Not all of it.
Right. That's another one that bought comics from me, but he was a kid when he bought comics from me.
When you have a little girl and you cut your thumb, your Band-Aid is going to have...
Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to you because you know.
You're the second person today to wish me Happy Mother's Day.
I did.
Well,
hey, hang on. Let me look as big and butch as I can here. How about now?
You don't know these days. Come on,
When my wife and I went to Athens, and we were at the Acropolis Museum Cafe, and she said, my wife went to order something, and she said, and the woman said, "Where are you?" And she said, "Oh, it's that guy over there." And the person behind the counter goes, "Behind that blonde lady?"
That is so funny. When I was a teenager, my brother, who's 3 years younger than me, he had hair exactly like yours, actually. And I remember one time this pizza place, and the owner said, "What can I get you girls?" And my brother just stormed out. He was all mad. He never went back in the place. But people thought we were sisters all the time because of his hair.
Yeah, I had really long hair in the 70s. And I was like 11 or 12 in that awkward kind of age. And I remember we're working or we had a lot that we were trying to clear, working, clearing trees or whatever. And the guy's like, "Oh, how old's your daughter?" I was like, "Dad, it's time for a haircut," because back in the 70s too, you'd have much longer, you had much longer hair.
Yeah.
And one of my uncles, God bless him, would say, "Marcus, it's time for a haircut. When do you get in a haircut?" Because whatever had long hair in the 70s, and certain people, guys always had crew cuts or really short hair. So yeah, they would have kicked you out of the house, Steve.
In the 70s?
Steve.
My dad
had long hair.
No. There's a lot of long hair in the 70s.
No, but I'm saying some of my
80s.
family. Yeah, but my family members, there was some, stick in the mud. God bless them. Hated the long hair, so they're like, "What's this crap with all this long hair? These hippies,
well,
get a damn haircut."
I started growing my hair because I was getting it cut one day, and it was not this long, but it'd been. I don't like going to get it cut because you sit there, reading a magazine,
comic book,
1962, not anymore. And I went there, and it was kind of longish, and the woman said, "Oh, you've got such beautiful blonde hair. You should donate it." And I went, "Okay, yeah, let's donate it." I thought she was going to cut it off as it was. She's like, "No, you got to have 12 inches." So I kept measuring it, and then when it was 12 inches, I went back. She said, no, I have to be able to grab it and then cut. So, and so that's why I get like camera's like all the Thor memorabilia and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Captain America kind of guy because he has something to risk. But people just started calling me. And in those days, I had muscles.
And you were doing the cosplay too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's give a quick shout out to Dadman Walking. So, hail
Dadman. What's up, buddy?
Yep. If you want to pop in, feel free to. And congrats to your daughter who graduated from college, 4.0 GPA.
Congrats.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yep. Pretty awesome.
Congratulations.
That is very,
what
very
a slacker. She couldn't get better than a 4. Come on.
And that's so funny that you say that, Mark, because for my master's, I had like a 3.98, I think. And my dad was like, "You couldn't have gotten the 4." I'm like,
come on.
Yeah.
So congrats, Dad, man.
I am not going to do that to Maddie. I am not.
No.
Don't. Don't do that. It gives them issues.
I will. Yeah.
Gives us issues. I'm still laughing at Jack Stargate wrote Courtney's Fellowship of Eyeballs.
I could
be. Works.
Yeah, it worked. Yep. And this is a great comment.
He's doing voice to text. That's why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It happens to me all the time.
Culture, the guy walked up behind him and hit on him. When he turned around, the guy was embarrassed. Yeah. Well, what kind of assets does Culture have? Oh, I'm not going to go there.
That reminds me. That reminds me of that scene. Remember Love American Style show from the 70s?
Yeah, I remember that show. Yeah.
Show where
I'm too young.
Guy walks up, Stuart Margolin, walks up behind this long-haired person sitting on a beach, and he's all about it. He turns around, it's a hippie dude, and he just gives him the peace sign and walks off. I mean, that's what's my visual for that.
Dad, man, am I the hippie in this comment?
I don't know.
I'm growing. I'm
He's
growing
a god.
my hair. I'm actually just not cutting my hair, mostly out of laziness, but I may donate it a third time. That's for a good cause. There's not enough. Apparently, there's not enough blonde hair for little girls that have cancer that want blonde hair or had blonde hair or whatever. So
that's a great cause. Yep.
6.
Hey, 6. Great.
Hey, 6.
Wonderful 6.
Like I always say, you're a 10 in our book.
Yes, right.
She is.
Six needs to come hang out with us one of these days.
Sure, yeah, anytime.
You
Yeah.
should come hang out.
Should.
Speaking of Six, though, I'm just going to take 1 second to let you guys know on Friday night, Six is going to join me on my channel, and it's my birthday next weekend. So we're going to
Awesome.
do a kind of birthday thing
Happy
Friday.
birthday ahead of time.
Happy birthday.
Guess how old I'm going to be?
21?
22.
29. All women are 29. That's what my mom said.
29, yeah.
And when
Mark
it,
has it.
29.
You got to find something that's flattering but not insulting.
29.
44.
44.
Getting
Reggie
up
Jackson.
there.
Youngster?
I'm still the youngster, though, here.
Youngster, yeah.
So I hang out with
Youngster.
friends.
Same as,
You're
same
young
as
as
my
here.
belt size.
Yeah, my mom would always say, wink, wink, I'm 29. I'm like, Mom, when I'm 39, it's not so
Yeah.
believable
Jack-
anymore.
You
what
start
I was
counting
like-
down.
Did you read one of those obituaries for Jack Benny when it said Jack Benny passed away? He was 39 at the age of whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or Jack Benny was 39 forever. I wouldn't
No,
know
I
Jack
think
Benny,
I think
anybody?
I was 39 when my mom started counting backwards. She never hit 40. is what she
My
said.
mother used to say, it's the 20th anniversary of my 30th birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good way to put it. So I'll have it'll be my 14th anniversary of my 30th birthday.
Well, happy birthday early.
Indeediousness.
I'm going to be in Colorado still. I'm in Colorado right now.
You're in Colorado.
Everybody.
Okay, yep.
It's a different background. I don't have my octopus and everything. This is where I used to live, actually. And I'm just staying here. And I'll make Walter come say hello.
Where's the octopus? I thought that sort of looked like the thing we saw
Other-
the Doctor Strange
That's
movie.
on the East Coast. So Colorado is where I'm living
Gotcha.
on the East Coast, but I came back here for like doctor's appointments and stuff like that.
I
And
gotcha.
my ex has been very kind, and I have the bedroom, and he's had the couch. He works late anyway, so he's been coming home and going to sleep on the couch, and me and my dog have this room.
Oh, well, good. There you go.
So
Sure he has.
except it's been raining. Did you say sure he has? No, he really has. No interest in that. But yeah, but the weather's been cruddy. It's been like raining every day. I wanted it to be like nice and sunny.
We started off tonight talking about the weather.
Yeah, it's horrible on the east. It's the East Coast in New York City. It's 50 degrees today. It was rainy.
It was
cold,
100 degrees.
blowing.
Going swimming. Perfect swimming weather today here. Yay.
We had
And
one
we-
day here in Colorado
and we
where it
all
was
have to-
70. It was nice. But
And here in Vegas, I wish I could point my camera out to the window so you guys could see that you can't see the mountains because the snow or the sand from the wind, it actually split a tree in the parking lot of a grocery store today. The wind was so
Sand did?
powerful.
Wow. You don't like sand. It gets coarse and irritating and gets everywhere.
That's another movie that we don't bring up, Clubby.
Hey, now he's putting
Halloween.
restrictions. Hey, now he's putting restrictions on movies we can and cannot quote.
Can't quote. Yeah.
What the hell's that? I don't remember that in the bylaws.
Is that one of the rules? Oh, we lost Courtney for a second. The sandstorm just blew her out. Yep. She'll be back,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yep.
What's wrong with quoting stupid movies like what was that?
See, you scared Courtney away.
It was Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones. That's why she left.
Wow. Well, come on. Now there are a lot of worse movies called Star Wars now than the prequels.
Clubby, you hate
Yes.
Attack of the Clones.
I do.
You used to.
I did.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't think it's that good, but I remember when it came out. I liked it better than I did later. But
you've
now
softened. You've softened. on something.
no. I was one of the few that actually was pretty nice to that movie and Phantom Menace, and even Revenge of the Sith. They all have a lot of problems, but then the garbage, horrible Disney ones came out and made them look like Shakespeare.
Do you remember what you used to call? I think I've reminded you of this. Do you remember what you used to call Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Yeah, the dead penetration.
The next degradation.
Dead penetration. Left generation.
You've softened on that one a lot.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I've been that on the show. I've talked about that.
You're an old softy.
Where I went back when it was coming on. I was strictest. Lopek Unplugged. She's coming back. I was the strictest original series guy there was. We called it Real Trek. But I did watch Next Generation, but I was highly critical of it. And then around season 6 or 7, it just started to lose interest. I watched it sporadically. Watched a little bit of DS9. Didn't really care much for it. Didn't watch it. Watched the Babylon 5, which was way better. Watched Voyager. Didn't end up liking Enterprise. But other than that, it took around until 2016. Some friends talked me into watching DS9, binging it. And I really loved it. And I that made me go back and look again at a lot of Next Gen, and I went and watched a bunch of it and really liked a lot of it. And it become, like you said, more softened on it. Definitely more. Of course, I was a lot older too. Remember, I was in my, when that show came on, I was in my early 20s.
Early 20s, yeah.
Right. I mean, you change. And now we're critical,
I like what Kal-El says. I don't normally agree with bands, but everything Maddie's daddy has banned so far, I agree with. we got some Steve M solidarity going on here. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here.
Hey, Jeffrey.
We did it again, didn't we?
We did it again, dude. Yeah. All right, you go.
I swear it's not me.
You go ahead. I waited, because I thought you were going to get it, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, I was downloading a picture of George Perez. All right, I'm going to do it. Yep. There we go.
Sorry,
we
Dad,
both have the power.
Hello.
Small-time Republic. I, for a long time, was probably the biggest Lou Ferrigno fan there ever was. He got me into weightlifting, which probably saved my life because we have a lot of heart disease in my family, and I was a very fat kid. And even I didn't like his Hercules movie, so I could not agree with you more. Small time.
They're pretty bad.
I love Lou Ferrigno. I mean, I always like the fact that he was challenged. He's deaf. He doesn't like when people say that because with 2 hearing aids, he can hear like 10%. He still never heard music.
That's crazy.
But you had a guy like Arnold. Everything just if you ever read his book, he's like, oh, I tried swimming and I was the best at swimming, and then I tried shot put and I was the best at shot put, and then I tried. But then I liked bodybuilding, and it was the best. And Ferrigno,
the best ever.
Yeah, Ferrigno had stuff to overcome. He was bullied, and he was skinny, and he was deaf, and so I always liked Lou better.
Yeah.
But that Hercules movie was horrible.
Right.
It was
pretty
really
bad.
bad. The bad dubbing of his voice, and having his wife play the evil queen or whatever.
I can't even remember. I'm sure I watched them way back when they came out, but I don't really remember them enough.
I mean, the dude was the most muscular Hercules there ever was.
Oh,
but it was horrible. They spent about $150 on the special effects on that.
Unfortunately,
and of course, they dubbed in his voice with a guy who sounds like this.
Yeah.
In a world where one man must stand alone.
Hey, Dad, man.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Mrs. Setup, so if my audio and
we
stuff
did it again.
Just let me know because my streaming room has been taken back over by Ninja and my mother-in-law, so I'm here tonight. So
good to see you. I heard you. Did you go see Doctor Strange?
Yes, I did.
Really? Did you hate it like everybody else?
Well, I will say that it's one more lesson to judge things for yourself because
that's right.
I really liked the movie. I put it on an A level. I understand you can probably find things to pick and this, that, and the other. I thought as a movie overall, they did a good job with it. And I was very, with all the welling and gnashing of teeth and the dire predictions before, I mean, it was not on that level. I mean, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's things that people aren't happy with. There were a few things I didn't care about, but I think they did a really good job with it. So,
well, there you go. Because a lot of people are just becoming sort of this strange hive mind of how bad it is. It's very flawed. I got a lot of things I did not like about it, but I still overall enjoyed it. But it's got a lot of problems.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think at the end of the day, did you enjoy it as a movie or not? And what it has an advantage over a lot of the others, that the others were just bad movies or really weak. Plus, they had the other problems. To me, this was better than Endgame, definitely. And Infinity War, it was better than that. But
I don't know about that.
Wait a minute. We got a pupper here.
Are you putting me on blast?
Whoa, that
always improves ratings,
He looks so old. He's got a little gray beard now. I hadn't seen him in 8 months, but yeah, he's he's scared right now because of the weather.
Sorry with the weather. Yeah,
it's okay, puppy.
And hi to my buddy Jeff, or Geoff, as I like to tease him. Jeff
is on fire out there with the Jar Jar Binks talk.
Yeah,
out there.
Dadman's a big Star Wars fan, and so is Jeff.
Listen, I have learned when Aang was young, she was one of those that loved Jar Jar, and I've learned to regret being a hard butt about Jar Jar after what I've seen in recent years. I've learned to respect and love Jar Jar For
I
what?
hate
never
it.
watched.
I
I
don't
never
know.
watched Star Wars.
I don't
after
know if
the
grading
first
on a
one with Jar Jar.
curve is I don't know if grading on a curve is exactly the way to go here.
I don't care. I don't know. At least Jar Jar was funny. At least they tried to be funny.
I got to
Two
answer
year-olds.
this one. So Jeff and some other buddies went to see Green Lantern. I treated everyone for my birthday. Or maybe they treated me on June 17th. You know, the Green Lantern movie opened, and I'm still hearing about it years later. And you remember Ash was talking about that too. How he almost got us to convince everyone. He did a great job that Green Lantern almost was a good movie.
Even Ryan Reynolds hates that movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
then I
It
guess I'm
sucks.
gonna get banned one day or something. But I went back after watching the animated series. I liked that movie.
There we go.
And
See,
to hear that Ryan Reynolds didn't like
my
it,
birthday. And he
Wow.
would have enjoyed it.
Where's the ban button?
Where's the best?
I
I
just
didn't
like
think it was that bad. I didn't think it was
That
great,
man
but it
sucks.
wasn't horrendous. It wasn't the end of
Yeah.
the world bad. I mean,
Yeah.
It was, well, I mean, okay, it's not Eternals bad, but
yeah.
it's bad.
And I felt bad. It was my birthday and everything. I
We're-
wanted to take everyone to a good movie. And we had
Yeah,
pizza and some
they're all
beer
mad
and
at you
hang
now.
out, and everyone was all mad at me every year here. Usually there's a comic book
You took us
movie
to
out
Green
around my birthday. You're gonna
Well,
take
I
us to see Green Lantern again?
I'll tell you, when I told Ash what I thought of the movie, Ash got excited. He was really happy somebody else liked it. So,
Hey, look, I told Ash, remember, it had been 10 years since he was talking about since that happened, and he talked about how much he loved it. I told him I would go back and watch it, and I did. And I had him all excited, I think, 'cause I was telling him,
Yep,
tell you what,
you did.
Ash, I went back and watched it, man. It still sucks even worse.
Yeah.
But he almost convinced some people, though. Yeah.
He
so.
got me to watch it. I said, look, dude, you
Yeah.
got me to go back and watch it, man.
Clobby, we should change our names to Statler and Waldorf.
Yes. I thought this movie really sucked. What does sucking mean? I don't know, but this movie does.
God.
Are you afraid of dying? Not after watching this show. Oh!
Yes.
Clobby, is that
no,
a picture of you as a
What?
young Clobby?
Yes, that's me. No, that's Gene Roddenberry.
I can't see it. It's this big.
Okay, yeah, that's Gene
Yeah.
Roddenberry.
Would
Is
you like
that
to see a picture of young Clobby?
Oh,
That's Captain Robert T.
Yes.
April.
Yes.
Is that
Okay.
the set of Trek too?
No.
Okay.
It's an
I
airbrush
know who
photo.
it is.
That's oh, is it airbrushed?
It was for the Star Trek Encyclopedia of the early 90s when since Captain Robert April was a name that Roddenberry it was the first captain he created for the Enterprise. Later he changed some names, and then later they put him on the animated series as a previous captain before Kirk and Pike. And so when they got around to making the that was an animated show for that. That's when they got around to making the encyclopedia to honor Gene Roddenberry. They put his face, his picture of him there for the captain of Robert April, the picture of Robert April to represent that first character, and then now of course they just took a dump on it with strange new worms.
Clobby, I thought Robert April was captain of the Yorktown.
Originally the ship was going to be the Yorktown, but later they changed it to the Enterprise.
Okay.
So yeah, but that original story it was the Yorktown. That's right.
I never correct Clobby. I always phrase it as a question because
Yeah.
he probably
Well-
if it's Star Trek, he definitely knows more than I do.
Well, the other night, because of what happened with that casting, Raquel was furious. He was in almost.
Well, no, because the guy, we should explain the guy who
When they're
wrote the
trashing
character,
Gene
wrote that
Roddenberry.
episode, Fred.
Right.
Fred. I don't get the name wrong.
Fred Bronson. So
Bronson said
the
he
guy-
created the character.
he said he created the
completely.
character when Roddenberry did it, and he contributed by writing that animated episode. But the character was created 10 years before that. Anyway, she gave an amazing dissertation about how patently false that claim was, but still, it's out there in the ether. So there's Eternals bad, and there's Howard the Duck bad. At least Howard the Duck's funny. It's bad, but you can laugh at it.
But
I love Howard the Duck.
It ended Leah Thompson's career.
Yeah, well, she
movie.
deserved to have it ended. She directed 2 episodes of Star Trek: The Yard.
Well, now she's back. Yeah, I was just gonna say she's back directing now. Yep.
Really?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a director now. Yep.
Jeffrey, then you stole my comment, throwing up a little in my mouth. I see that all the time.
now, but anyway, what's it? So what's it?
Well, I got to answer.
Howard the Duck is at least funny.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, so Cal. Yes, they're still friends with me, but I never hear the end of it. So.
No, that's
And
why
I-
they say.
and
that's
in
the
my
only reason they
defense,
say-
I had not seen the movie first before we went, so it was opening night, I think. So, hey,
Why do you think they stayed friends with you? So you would never have to hear the end of it.
Yeah. And one of them is
Usually what
Jeff.
friends are
Yeah.
for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck, when they had to have little people in the costume because CG didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, to think about that, that's so like.
Are you
something
trolling
when
us
you
there,
think about
Courtney? Courtney, are you trolling us with these comments?
No, I actually really like Howard the Duck, but I didn't even know they made a Howard the Duck too.
They
Is
did.
that a joke, or did they
They
really?
didn't.
I think I'm beginning to think I just like bad movies then, because it's like
I
They
do
didn't
too.
make
I
it.
like bad movies. I really do.
It's
Like I
okay to
really
like
like Meet the Feebles.
It's okay to like bad movies.
well, we haven't even gotten on the Killer Clowns from Outer Space either.
That's
so
a great movie.
That
though.
movie was
Oh,
actually
Gary
scary
loved
to
that
me.
one. I
It's a
love that one.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
I thought it was Killer Tomatoes from Outer
Killer
Space.
Tomatoes
No,
too is
you gotta
another one.
There's
Yeah.
Across
Attack
the
of the Killer
Screens.
Tomatoes,
There is.
but
Plan
there's
9.
1988. There was Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
It's a great movie. I
Yep.
love it.
That was
Look
a
it up
great
and watch it.
movie. It was scary to me though. I didn't like clowns.
I like the
Everyone
Steve
likes
Reeve. I like the Steve Reeve Hercules movies, and they're pretty much considered bad cinema, I guess.
Well, I just know Clobby's
Yeah,
favorite
yep.
all-time actor is about to come out later this month, flying a fighter again in a
Well,
follow-up.
enjoy it. I don't watch anything with Tom Cruise in it, so go watch your.
Oh,
I had to sit through the
I don't
trailer
like
the
him
other
either.
night.
yes,
I
you
had to
did.
sit through that damn trailer the other day.
I didn't know you were a Tom hater too.
I hate him
I'm not-
more than really.
I don't like
Oh, thank you. Because here's the thing, I will not, and since like the early '80s, have not watched anything with him in it, and yet people constantly like that. When I was working at a place that had a lot of people there, I was always the one, Mr. Movie and Mr. and Mr. Geek. They all people would constantly walk up and say, "Hey, did you see this movie or that?" That kind of stuff. And I've had to train them. They walk up and say, "Did you see this?" And it was like a Tom Cruise movie, right? And I'll say, "Who's in it again?" And they'll go, "Tom Cruise." And then, "Oh, okay, you didn't watch it." It took a while.
That's
train
really
him.
funny.
You didn't like A Few Good Men?
I won't watch it.
A Few
Have
Good
you-
Men is
you
a
haven't
good
seen
movie,
it?
but you just have to
won't
pretend
watch
he's
it.
not there.
Oh, man, that's a great movie.
Who's in
It
it?
is a good movie.
Who's in it?
Jack Nicholson,
And who else?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Who
Demi
else?
Moore, Kevin Bacon.
Eventually, you will get to a certain cast member that will answer your question.
Okay, why so much hate?
Put it to you like this: you don't never. But if he's in a movie, you never have to ask me if I've seen it because I'm telling. It's a training.
You've seen Taps. I know that.
I've seen Taps and Risky Business, but after that, I've tapped out.
Well,
What was
I hate
your
it.
reasoning?
Taps
I
I
have my
like.
reasoning, but it was later years.
Okay, my reasoning is first of all, I think he's a talentless hack who only got as far on his looks. He's a shrimply little dude who's a little
He's
jerk
a
off,
shrimp,
and,
yeah.
and he's a religious zealot, and I just don't like him. I
You're
can't
going to
stand
lose all the
I
Tom
can't look
Cruise
at it without
subscribers
throwing
now.
up. I can't look at him without throwing up.
I can't see how you could say he's talentless. He
I think he's talentless.
he was really good. I think he was really good in Rain Man.
Rain Man's a great movie too, but
Yeah.
I more don't like his
The Color
him
of Money.
personally. I think is what does it for me,
Is what?
and that
He-
does carry over into like.
Well, he's weird personally, but who in Hollywood isn't?
Well, yeah, that doesn't matter to me that
Yeah,
much.
like
He's
five
weird.
normal
There's
people
weird,
out there.
and then there's like not
Yeah,
good
weird's
person.
fine.
Like I don't know, weird.
Well,
is
you know,
good.
It's-
sometimes there's just an intangible. You can't put your finger on it necessarily, but sometimes there's just certain personalities that just grate on you, and you
I have
want to avoid them at all costs.
I have three other actors that are like
Yeah.
that
Who?
for me. That I will not watch anything with them in it.
I'm curious.
Even though I've seen stuff with them in it, but I really try not to. George Clooney, I hate him.
Yep.
I
Yep.
did sit through Batman and Robin, unfortunately.
He's
That was
in
probably the last time I
Yep.
Roseanne,
If he's in it, I'm out.
Yep.
Well, another one, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
I hate him.
Bobby. No.
Oh my-
Hate him.
He was so good in Basketball Diaries when he was younger.
I'll never know.
What about when he was on that TV show as a kid?
Well,
Was
I
he
think
on the
I
Wonder
saw-
Years or
What movie did I see? With
Not the
him?
Wonder Years.
what was he
Yeah.
on?
The one with that girls' school.
No.
Well, I will say he was
Oh,
really
that's
good
it.
in he was really good
Bachelor.
in Django Unchained though, but still
I'll
normally
never
I
know.
avoid him. Yeah. Who's the third then?
Who's another one? There's others I hate that I avoid, but I've seen movies with him in it, right? Like I'm not a big fan of Matt Damon.
Hey, Turo. Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn. That's a good
I guess
movie.
Matt
It is
Damon
no
is
good
another
movie.
one?
I
Really?
don't like
Well,
him.
well,
Oh,
Team
wait. I
America
just got a
pegged him
phone
right.
call. Just got a phone
Oh.
call. Tom Cruise said if Clobbering Times ever opens another comic book shop, he will not buy comics from his shop.
See, he's lying.
Even if he's recast as Iron Man, he will not
happen to
buy
know-
Iron Man issues to research the
happen-
role in your shop.
By the way, did you know that was a fear, like leading up to that 2008 Iron Man movie? There was all this speculation it was going to be Tom Cruise playing Tony Stark, and I'm like, they're going to make an Iron Man movie that I can't go see.
Yeah.
Well, he tried.
Have seen it.
He and Nicolas Cage were both trying to get that part.
Yeah.
And while they were basically battling over it, RDJ was, and I don't really care for RDJ. You know,
I like him. I think he's great.
I think he's a piece of crap.
Is he? RDJ?
Yes, he's a horrible human being.
Really? How so? He helps a lot of people. He recovered and changed his life and does a lot of good things for people.
Well, let's put it this way. Before guys like me that do CG were able to get the techniques and the processes together to make Iron Man, RDJ's last movie was he played the villain in the Tim Allen remake of the Shaggy DA. Then he has one hit movie, and suddenly he's, bam, I want 60 million per movie. You know, he doesn't. He's not giving any of it to charity. He's not.
You mean after Iron Man?
Oh. Yeah.
You know, I never watched any of his newer stuff because it just wasn't Robert Downey Jr. to me at all. But I love him in like Less Than Zero and
Less Than Zero.
I love him. He's great as Chaplin. Well, I don't know. I don't know what he is. I don't know for sure anything that much about him. Then Steve, all I can say is what I've seen is after, him changing his life after Iron Man, is that he's gone out and done a lot of nice things for a lot of people. But it may not be true. But I've heard that he helps a lot of people and
when he does
a lot like kids and stuff.
Like he gave an Iron Man prosthetic arm to a kid, but he didn't actually pay for it or anything. He just showed up on camera and said, "Here." And everybody said, "Oh, you're such a wonderful guy." But other than that, he didn't, to the best of my knowledge, he has not given a penny to anybody. But he does show up if the camera.
But of course, if he does, that's the right way to do it, not publicize it. I have no way of knowing. But
I have no way of knowing if he has or not. I've heard.
I'm not saying you're right or wrong.
I've only seen him now. Like I would say like most of the other guys, like I think Chris Evans, as much as I think Clobby dislikes him too. But I think I
love him. I'm a fan of his.
Really?
He's just a dirtbag as a human. Maybe. But I'm talking politics. I hate. But I love him as Captain America.
Yeah, but he actually, like him and the guy that plays
who?
Chris, the other Chris.
Hemsworth is a good dude, I hear.
Not Hemsworth.
See, Steven, I do like some of the cute boys, as you call them.
See, I don't like Hemsworth. I don't like Hemsworth because he has that.
Because he stole your job.
Guy.
He has that app for getting in shape called. I forget what it's called now.
I agreed he sucked to Sherlock Holmes. Boy, he did suck to Sherlock Holmes. What's that? Yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I dropped the mic, but not kind of dropped the mic. Yeah.
Good,
Bobby, what do you think of Brad Pitt?
He was another one that was kind of on my list, but I've liked him in some stuff.
Mm-hmm. He was good in that Tank movie.
So
somebody said you just hate all the cute boys, but
that's what
I want to just correct Steven Ransom because Tom Cruise is not cute. He doesn't even fall into that category.
But he is a pretty boy type that gets his jobs because of his looks.
He's too short.
Yeah, but
I don't think
I'm a height.
People don't think that. You can't tell he's short. You only know that he is in real life. But if you just see him in the movies, they make him look They don't make him look short.
They give him shoes this tall.
Well, I do agree with Clobby on Damon, DiCaprio, and Clooney. But the funny thing is, every time I watch Titanic, he dies I have to cheer in that scene.
Yeah, I do like when he dies in Titanic. I got dragged on a blind date to see Titanic.
I think I just like him because of Basketball Diaries.
Died in that. He died in the Quick and the Dead too. Gene Hackman killed him.
That's before he was popular.
Well, let's
face it. I'll let you one pretty. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say Titanic is a date movie. It better be a good first date, or you got to sit through 3+ hours.
I don't even think it's a great movie. Everyone
3+ hours of a movie with a girl or a guy you don't like. That can go really bad, right? Yeah.
You know Steven Ransom though. I do like the pretty boys. Because I love the prettiest pretty boy actor of all, Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, we better not clip that. Don't anyone clip that. We could Clobby saying that. Where's the wake down? He would have had that clipped in a video.
I'm going to turn that into my ringtone. Jeffrey says RUSE was. Who's RUSE? okay in Interview with a Vampire. You know
Who?
who else was really good at Interview with a Vampire?
You.
I'm just kidding.
No, you were good in it.
If I hadn't cut my hair, I would have been. I would have had time.
He was in it, by the way.
But you wouldn't have been able to see it because if I had cut my hair, I'd have had lines with Tom Cruise.
Remember,
hey,
dude,
70s.
Cruise is in it, so I didn't watch it. Hey,
70s.
Hey.
I didn't watch it either. Yeah, somebody was talking about Brad Pitt, a student of mine when I was teaching martial arts, was in it, and he did some scenes with Brad Pitt, and he said he was a super nice guy. He said he saw him in an elevator like a week later, and the guy said, "Hey, Brad, how's it going?" Like, he remembered his name and everything. So
yeah,
I like Brad Pitt. I never thought. I don't know. Tom Cruise is on a whole. That's a whole nother level.
So what is your deal with him, by the way? What is your?
It started when he was with Kate Holmes, and he was on Oprah, and he jumped up on the couch, and he just was like, God, he was such an idiot,
crazy person.
That scene, that.
Kirsten Dunst. That's funny. Someone wrote in the chat how she was good in Interview with a Vampire. When I was younger, everyone used to tell me I looked like her. I never saw it, but
in fairness, the way we talk and I joke, I hear Tom Cruise has done a lot of nice things for people, and I think that's fantastic. He might be nice enough. I've heard that.
He treats his fans very well.
I don't like his movies. I don't want to watch his movies, but if that's a good thing that he does do nice things for people, I think that's fantastic. So he's goof off, you know?
He's very good to his fans. Like on the red carpet, it'll take an hour to get into the movie because he'll sign every autograph that anybody wants him. He'll take. He has even talked to like this one guy on a red carpet for one movie. I think it was the first Mission Impossible, and he goes, "It's my mom," and hands Tom Cruise the phone, and he talked to her. You know,
that's why I really hate him, because he did that piece of crap movie that destroyed the reputation of Jim Phelps.
Well, okay,
garbage movie.
Okay,
yeah. See that's one that I fell out of that whole series. I know Peter Graves hated that because it destroyed the iconic character from the TV series.
So bad.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's up there to the level of the Jake Skywalker treatment. And I think sometimes you can change a little bit for production or movies, but something such of a cornerstone of a franchise to just like do something that drastic with a mainline character just is sometimes too much for people to handle. So
I got you.
Or make him Phelps, they could have made him Phelps and made him a good guy still.
Jim Phelps would never do that.
And the team, it wasn't as much of a team, dynamic as it was in the TV show, where you had like Peter Lupus and you had Greg Morris and for a while Leonard Nimoy, and who was it? Linda Day George was in it?
I think so. And a couple, and Southern or whatever.
But it's kind of interesting because the last few movies, if I'm correct, they've kind of gotten towards a team concept where he's working with a few people that are from the previous movie. So
now I will say this: Ving Rhames is in that series, isn't he?
He was, maybe still is.
Ving Rhames is somebody I have a lot of respect for because he got a Golden Globe, I think it was. And then when he walks up to the podium, and you can find this on YouTube. Mark's smiling, so he may have seen it. He says,
no, Cal sent something really funny, so I'll have to post that. Yeah.
Well, Ving Rhames walked up to the podium and he said, "Is Mr. Jack Lemmon here tonight?" Jack Lemmon's like, he says, "Could you come up here, please?" And he gives his, I think it was a Golden Globe, to Jack Lemmon for being such an inspiration to him. And Jack says, "Well, you're getting this back whether you want it or not, And Ving Rhames is like, "Nope, it's not mine anymore. It's yours, And that's the you can find this on YouTube.
Wow.
And that's the kind of class that we don't see a whole lot anymore.
I always liked Ving Rhames. Now I like him even more. Look who's here, the great Hungry Boy.
Oh, Hungry,
awesome. Hungry.
Howdy,
Good
Hungry.
To see you, buddy.
Well, tonight he's hungry-ish. So
every time, see, Hungry always shows up when I'm wearing a tank top and a baseball cap, And I don't know, Courtney, you may not know Hungry, but he's like super well educated. Like every time he shows up, I feel like I should be quoting Shakespeare.
He's a great friend of my show and now a friend of all of us too. We love Hungry Boy.
Hungry, hungry-ish, but not.
A professional comic book artist. I think Klobby knows who he is.
I don't.
You don't?
Still a mystery. He won't tell me.
Oh, okay.
He likes
some
mysteries.
Mysteries are better sometimes.
He likes
that
mystery,
way,
but
yep.
well, it's none of my beeswax either. So I want him to have his privacy. But I have launched several investigations into finding out who he is. However, and I'm not quitting. But I want to be the one. I am definitely the Sherlock Holmes in this scenario, and I will not let anyone else solve this case. The game is afoot, Watson.
The game is afoot.
So remember, next time they come out with a new Holmes Sherlock Holmes movie, we got an actor right here to take the part.
Maybe the game is a hand. Maybe it's
Hungry.
It's like an elbow.
For Hungry, hang on a minute. I'm trying to think of because Hungry is really well educated. It's really.
Oh wow!
Hungry. What men what men may do, what men dare do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do. That's
wow.
That's
He'll know it.
He will know it actually, yeah, because it's Shakespeare. It's
if he told me anything he's worked on, I'd get it. I'd nail him. He knows it. He knows I'd nail you, dude. I would expose you, sir.
I thought I could look at his style.
He's hiding the some of that.
He's got to save his royalties, as he says. So you got to be anonymous.
I think he's disguising his style too a little bit. So,
but we respect that. Yeah, we love having him in the chat, and and even if we knew, we wouldn't say so.
And he's in Australia, Courtney,
because he's probably
Australia. I learned how to say that the other day.
I'm on my way to Australia.
Are you?
He's quoting support your local gunfighter.
Yeah, no, sheriff.
Yeah,
close, yeah.
Hey, I haven't seen those movies since the original.
Great movie. I just got to tell you, folks, I'm just on my way to Australia. Did he say that in both movies? I think. I just got to tell you, I'm on my way to Australia.
Yeah, and they recruited him. It had Walter Brennan. He puts his finger in Walter Brennan's gun. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh God, I love that movie.
It would have backfired. It wouldn't have my finger any good.
James Garner. He's talking about James Garner, by the way. Great, one of the greats.
Yep.
Got to be careful around Clobby. I'm trying. Maybe one day
new art.
Burma shave. Wow, Jeffrey, that's.
I'm a good art spotter. I mean, I can't draw, like I always say, I can't draw flies, but I can spot old artists fairly well. I may not be the best at it, but I know
you can draw a crowd.
I can sort of sketch one, maybe.
You could draw a bath.
Nah,
you could draw one. You could draw a breath. You could draw a sword.
All those things, maybe, probably.
I'll carry forth, carry on, Harry carry. If you show me how.
We quote MASH a lot too.
We quote MASH a lot too. I thought you were Frank's bag. Yeah.
But I quote the movie and the series. So.
What do you think of Alan Alda? Is he on your list?
I love the movie. Huh? What's that?
Alan Alda, is he on your list?
Alan Alda, I love that guy. Well, even though he turned the show into the Alan Alda show after
but you didn't like seasons. You like Alan Alda?
The first 3 seasons he was great.
You guys would be in each other's throats if you were in the same room for 5 minutes.
No, Alan Alda's a sweetheart though. Remember the time Rush Limbaugh met him? Did he tell you? Remember?
No.
And they got along pretty well. Yeah.
He met him at something back in the early '90s when everyone hated him hated Rush because of his politics, of course. And he walked up to him at some function because he knew who Rush was. And they started talking. And he said, Alan Alda says, you don't seem like a mean guy. He's like, well, I'm not. Why do you think that? And again, Alan Alda, because he lived in the Hollywood bubble forever. If they had politics he didn't like on the other side or anything. I mean, if you were to the right of, Marx, you must have been a monster to him. So, but, he was pretty nice. He was a nice enough guy. I mean, obviously he ruined the show, kind of. He ruined MASH. He turned it into the Alan Alda show.
Have any of you seen that movie, Flirting with Disaster? It was like in the early 90s with Ben Stiller and Patricia Arquette. He's in that movie.
Oh, is he? Where is he now? He's probably
I don't know, but in the early 90s, he plays an excellent old hippie. I'll just say that. It's one of my favorite movies. It's hilarious movie. Flirting with Disaster. You should check it out.
Cool.
Patricia Arquette.
Oh yeah, I think I may have heard of that. The movie, look, I love the movie MASH. The TV show's so different. First three seasons of the TV show is one of the greatest comedies on TV ever. But they're very different. The movie is completely it's black comedy, and it's very different. And Hawkeye is, well, the only same actor was Radar. But Radar, yes sir.
So here's what what I was just sent by Kal-El.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
That's
Great
awesome.
job.
Kal-El sent you that? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Way to go, Kal-El.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Oh shit!
See, now that everybody knows this, you're never going to live it down.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Jeez, I knew that I knew that there was a lot of dislike for that movie, but I didn't realize it was
I
that
didn't think
bad.
it was that bad either. Yeah.
But it's all too funny.
You hated it.
What's so crazy is I liked the movie. That was another movie that
See?
It was
I didn't
so
have.
bad.
I can't.
There and it may
That's
be
okay.
things that I don't know. I enjoyed
No,
it.
that's
But then
fine.
again, it's strange that we go that opposite, like me and the missus, that we're opposite a lot of times when we pick the movies. Although I will tell you, most times when we pick a movie in the theater, when I pick it, they're bombs, they're turds, they're horrible. She picks better movies than I do. So,
Yes, Monkey Jeebus is from the movie. The Suicide is Painless.
Suicide is painless.
It's,
Yeah, I was just
from the
reading
movie.
that.
Dad, man, do
Right.
you ever walk out of movies? Have you done that?
I'm never that way.
God damn it, Mark! Jeez.
Only when they're really scary like that.
What was that all about? Yeah.
that was from
Fortnite.
Fortnite. You got to show. You surprised Steve with that one. It's almost like you didn't see that. This is one of the first late night Fortnites that we did.
Yeah.
I've watched some of your late night Fortnite.
Oh yeah, well that was just Mark coming out.
Mrs. Dadman plays too.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're playing, and I go in from the other room, and granted, these are 3D avatars. So so here we
I'm never that way.
God damn it, Mark! Jeez.
Try not to cuss like that, but it's like he stared me. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and he appears out of nowhere.
It's fantastic.
Timing.
I just got that was actually you guys playing.
Yeah.
Really funny.
we'll have a much longer version of
And,
it.
and
That's
if you
the
notice,
quick.
the quotes are that I fervently emote. Everybody says I scream like a girl and stuff, and I know I fervently emote. I fight that all the
You
time.
fervently emote like a girl. Yeah.
I fervently emote. I'll put it there, but,
Just kidding, Dad, man.
but I know. But to your point, Courtney, there have been two movies I wanted to walk out of. I have not because I'm too cheap. I will suffer to the bitter end just because if I paid for it, I'll finish my popcorn.
I've done it.
One was the Solo movie when Darth Maul came in with his stupid
God.
double-bladed lightsaber, and I started
That was
talking out
bad.
loud. My daughter had to finally stop, get me to be quiet because I've hated Maul forever. He should have died, never come back. Instead, these idiots.
Oh, wait, you never liked Maul to begin with? Or?
No, I liked Maul first, but when he got cut in half, he should have ended. I mean, by
'cause,
him
Yeah,
surviving the way he
like
did,
Agent,
way
certain
he survived, the
character
way
in a
he
movie
did,
didn't come back.
he did things that more powerful Sith Lords never could do. He was only an apprentice. I can't stand that concept. They only brought him back because of the double-sided lightsaber, and he was marketable. They should have never killed him,
Right.
To begin
Well,
with.
at least on Clone Wars, Palpatine just wiped his ass with him.
Yeah, he did. I
destroyed him.
saw that, but then again, he still lets him go.
Right.
It's kind of like the whole debate about Ahsoka, whether she should have died and all. But
But I hear
that-
you. I hear you.
that's one. And then the second one, Clobby's never seen this movie. You remember John Grisham's novel, The Firm?
I
They
remember
made a
it.
Yep.
movie of it with Tom Cruise in it. It was unlike the book. Basically, hi, Mr. Cruise goes in, hi, Mr. Mob Guys. I'm your attorney. I'm going to rat out my bosses, but I can't say anything about you because attorney-client privilege. Yeah, right. And then he walks off at the end of the movie and all. I wanted to leave that movie, but I was with people, so I couldn't leave because it was so stupid. And that was like that was a movie that should have had some realism. It was so bad. I hated it. I hated it so much. I went and bought the book. I went to a bookstore, bought the book, and read the book and loved the book.
Wow.
Dad,
It's
man,
like one of those
I
movies where
can't
you're like
believe that we're
embarrassed to be there.
we're so diametrically opposed on this because in the book, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
they just do what he says, and they would end up going to jail. And this, they found a way out. I actually like the movie better.
But see, in the movie, they found the way out. But the book, it was like he was on the run from the FBI and everybody.
But the end, he just did what they said, and he would.
It's one of those that I when he went in the movie to talk to the the mobsters, I don't think he would have ever left that meeting. Anyway, it's just one of those things that, I think, it's like, everybody, it hits things differently, but that was one that I thought about walking out of, but then
Wow.
again,
Clavi,
Yes.
Hungry says, if I showed one panel of my published stuff, Steve and Clavi would nail me. So
I was
we
gonna comment on
clearly,
that earlier.
we clearly know, not in that way, Courtney.
Well,
That'll be a long trip.
well,
we
hey,
clearly know
these
who he
days
is.
you don't want to
We
assume
may
anything.
even be big fans, Clavi.
Wow.
That takes a lot of strength to like avoid having people go fanboy on you, when you could. So
Wow.
yeah, it was
My goodness.
one panel, and we would know who he is. Well, we know he's not Jack Kirby. Too soon?
We
Too
don't
soon?
know. We're
Too
pretty
soon?
sure he's alive.
I almost said Neil Adams, but I thought maybe that's too soon.
Well, and Perez
You
would be
need to
even
start a
sooner.
special
That's why
on
I do- I
the
really
whole
wanted
mystery
to.
of figuring out who Hungry-ish is.
Oh,
So I just want to
I'm
highlight
gonna
this
solve
quote by Turo here. So he said, "Please." He's asking about Batman: Broken Promise. I don't know if anyone in the chat has seen
I
that.
want to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. I keep forgetting about it.
So Turo's saying that he can get a hold of the guy that made it and do an interview. So that'd be pretty awesome
Wow.
to
I
have
want to
him on
watch
one
that.
of the shows.
Cool.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah, it
fan
looks
animated Batman animated fan film, right?
I'll just show a pic. Everyone obviously go watch the movie, but I'll just show a clip. Just a quick
Damn,
couple
I
of
wanna see
seconds of
that.
it. So you want to?
Is it on YouTube?
It's on
Yeah.
YouTube, yep. But of course,
so.
we want everyone to go subscribe and
I'm gonna go
to watch the movie. But
definitely go.
I'll just
I'm
show.
gonna save
just
it
a
on
couple
YouTube
of-
now, so I'll remember to watch it.
Yeah. So, but here's some of the art. Looks really cool. So here's the the website. Obviously, we don't want to play the whole thing and everyone go sub and watch it. But yeah, then the person says, I don't own Batman or anything to do with it, but he's nonprofit. Just really love Batman, so I
love that.
love seeing an opening like that, and the character design look really cool here. So, but yeah, so check that out, and that's some great Batman art there. Yeah.
Well, if it's anything like the Star Wars, I mean, some of the best Star Wars I've seen in the last few years are the fan films, like the 15 to 30-minute movies. I mean, they're really, really good. So, and
Some
Courtney,
fans out there, talented artists doing some great stuff. Yeah,
Fans do the best work usually. So.
exactly. I think they're more connected to their franchise and they want to keep it,
okay.
not try to sort. And Courtney, real quick, the other movie was The Village.
All right.
No.
What made me so mad was I should have seen it coming. I should have seen all of
I
the.
saw it coming.
I should have seen it coming. I was so mad at myself for not seeing the ending coming. I apologized to the missus and the kids that I wasted 2 hours.
My ex didn't see it coming either, and he was the same way. He was like really bad.
Yeah, it's like, why did I
like M. Night Shyamalan is my mom's neighbor, so he's I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased too, but I like his I like
some of his stuff too.
Yeah, there's some.
I'm
good
not.
stuff.
I didn't freak out about The Village like everyone else did, but I understand the complaints on it. So
I liked it, but I called it.
Yeah.
It was I thought it was pretty.
well, people just get mad at him for having a twist and everything.
Yeah,
I like having twists. It's just
I like having twists, but it was like it was not the twist I wanted to see.
I've never seen that, so don't say what the twist is. But I guess people are disappointed by the twist. But
I went to the theater to see it, and it was at one shot though. Before they revealed it with that scary monster-looking thing that wasn't really that was spooky. It spooked out a friend of mine when we went to see it.
But it was.
Well, he did The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable are great though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love Unbreakable. Yeah, it's a great.
My friend from high school is in Unbreakable. I've got all the connect today.
Wowzers!
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie.
Oh, The Happening.
The Happening.
By the way, Dad Man, you do know that because that Ryan Reynolds himself. Did you see Deadpool 2?
I have not
Electric
seen
Boogaloo?
either of the Deadpool movies.
Oh, okay. Since should I tell him then? Because he's not going to watch it.
Go ahead. I'm not bad with spoilers. I don't mind.
Okay.
It's been out long enough, so yeah.
Well, Deadpool has time travel at the end of the second one, and he uses it to go back in time to shoot Ryan Reynolds through the head before he makes Green Lantern.
Gosh.
You have to shoot himself with the head.
That's horrible.
So he saved me from that moment, which also another movie with time travel.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Maybe I'll have to check that out. That's I did.
You should
hear
watch
recently-
those. I like the Deadpool movies. I think you never gave a crap about the character in the comics, but
Yeah.
the movies are ridiculous fun.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds
no, they're
now
pretty
owns
fun.
a-
Yeah, they're fun.
I had only recently learned that Ryan Reynolds did not like the Green Lantern. So
Well, he's going along with the crowd. If everyone had loved it, he'd be fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's just like everyone
Right,
picks
yeah.
on him about it all the time. Of course,
Yeah.
he's going to say, "Oh, fuck! What's he going to do?" You know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hungry. I
Someone
got
else will
called.
defend him.
Hungry.
Huh?
I got called racist. Hungry boy for saying M Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Shamalana Ding Dong.
Hungry boy made.
It's just a song.
the Shana Na crowd got mad at you.
Shamalama in my ding dong. With the tune shall well. That's a song from Animal House. Come on.
Yeah,
From
know,
Animal House.
Animal House.
I never
In my
saw
shower.
Animal House. I
What?
finally
What?
you never saw Animal House.
never saw Animal House. No, because Tom Cruise is in it.
Never
but,
seen Animal House.
Yes, that's true.
I haven't either.
I just saw a few months ago. I just saw the clip and realized that in Cupid, when Worf breaks Geordie's loose.
Oh, it was based on that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I played it just like
Yeah. John Belushi. The scene in
broke
Cupid
it the
was
same way. Yeah,
Right.
then-
in
sorry,
Star Trek:
same
The
way.
Next Generation episode Cupid when they're turned into the merry men for Robin Hood.
I
yes.
am not a merry man.
I am
You've never seen that movie, Animal House.
Well, I will.
I love it.
Inconceivable! 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 You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well,
You used
I
that on
was
me
a
when
bit
said I'd
young.
never
I
seen
was a
Star
bit
Trek.
young to see a movie back then like that. So, and just haven't. But the missus picked up a copy in one of the thrift stores, so it's definitely one I can watch.
Oh my
That's
God,
such a
we
good
should
movie.
kick Steve out of the panel right now. Go watch that movie.
Well, funny you should say that. It's that I'm still staying on the schedule to wake up at 5 a.m. with Maddie.
Oh man.
So I am going to go.
Oh no, I didn't kick you. I didn't kick you off. I hope, right?
No. Having a toddler little girl.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Yeah, and she's coming home tomorrow from Hawaii. So
Oh, great. Yep.
I can't wait to
Oh,
see
cool.
her.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Well-
I can't wait to see her. So
Quoting
So
some
I am-
Animal House right here. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
no, I'll say so. I am going to say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. You know, there's a Trek connection
That up,
there.
you're going to be asked to keep singing because you got a good voice there.
He
I wasn't
does.
even.
There
I
you
was just joking. Well, thank you.
What kind of depraved monster has never seen Animal House?
There's actually one song that I sing well, but I never sing it because it's in the ghetto, and I can sing it just like Elvis.
Oh yeah.
But it's such a depressing song. What you know? What are you gonna do it at a wedding? You know?
Did any of you see that trailer of before the Doctor Strange had a trailer for the new Elvis movie
Yeah.
called Elvis?
Yeah, so it looked pretty good. I thought.
Looked kind of interesting.
Who plays
Yeah, my
Elvis?
mom's gonna love seeing that.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know the guy. He's a young guy because it's playing him very young. So
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is almost on. You can barely tell who he is. He's playing the
Colonel.
the colonel or whatever. Yeah.
Tom Hanks doing the same character that he does in every movie.
There's several shots of him with his little lightning thing on because he loved Captain Marvel Jr. so much, and even one where he's reading a Captain Marvel
Right,
comic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
My,
it
uh,
looks something I'll probably watch.
My
No, I'll check it
former father-in-law was in the same karate class as Elvis's karate teacher, Mike Stone.
That's cool.
Which one?
So Mike Stone was Elvis's karate teacher,
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
and he was in my former father-in-law's karate class in Hawaii.
I was just going to say that hungry-ish. Sorry.
I'm sorry. What did Hungry say? Sorry to see you go, Steve. But
I was going to
dang.
comment on your which way to the beach, your biceps. And he made a
Oh,
comment.
okay.
Oh, the guns. Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
when they did a close-up on you, I was like, you're looking ripped.
I've been
Look
working
Captain
out.
Marvel Jr.
Been working
Okay.
out for about 3 weeks
Senior.
now, so it's starting to come back. But as Klobby will tell you, I used to be like 3 times this size.
Wow.
And then I got laid off for almost a year. Then the pandemic and a daughter and a divorce, and I aged 20 years in the last year. You know,
divorce will do that. The aging part. I feel
Divorce
like
is an ugly, horrible thing, and I wish it was still illegal. But anyway, if my biceps are just a little bit, well, I'll work on that. 70s.
Dude, I don't think you know how pumped you are right now, Steve, because you look pumped up already, bro.
It's
you up.
It's just the fisheye
lighting
lens effect on this camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because as I move,
Gotcha.
see, like my hand, see how my hand gets humongous. So it's not. It's just the camera.
Yeah, I'm really 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah, me too.
There was a great line in Friends, because Monica was Rubenesque, shall we say, when she was younger, and they were showing home movies, and she goes, "Well, the camera adds 10 pounds," and Chandler says, "How many cameras are on you?"
Whoa, your deltoid, wow.
What
Gil
a
Kane,
compliment.
man.
What
You
a
look like Gil
compliment.
Kane drew you.
But
Nice.
but not
Not the face, no.
but not Neil Adams, huh? Because you got to have that, like, you got to have that separation in there for
Yeah,
Neil
I
Adams
don't know.
and show the clavicles and stuff.
I can see you being a Neil Adams drawing, Steve. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite possibly the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
That's Steve, nice.
That's Steve, nice. Yeah.
I think when I told you you reminded me of Iggy Pop, that should have been the biggest compliment, because Iggy Pop's like fine.
Yeah, he's ripped too.
Iggy Pop weighs like 15 pounds.
No, he's ripped.
It has
Iggy
nothing
Pop.
to do with that. It was like the hair and the face when I first saw you. You weren't. I couldn't see your arms or whatever, but
Okay.
But
He's in
Iggy
great
Pop
shape,
is in
Iggy Pop.
shape.
Oh, he's
He
in great
is
shape,
very
yeah.
skinny, but he is in shape.
I will thank you, because you mean that as a compliment, and
I
that is
do. I love
that is the
Iggy Pop.
spirit.
Yeah.
That's like saying, Mark, you remind me of Danny DeVito. I love that guy.
I love Danny DeVito too. Actually, he was a regular at my dad's
Oh,
restaurant.
obviously. The
I
minute
very
I said
cool
that, I
guy.
thought I was looking into a mirror.
Oh, nice Twins quote there, Klavi.
Well, allegedly they're coming out with a new Twins movie. They keep threatening Twins
Who's
too.
gonna be in it? Who's
I
gonna
love
be in
that
it?
first movie. I
That's
assume
good.
they'd have DeVito and Schwarzenegger, maybe like the next generation. Fortunately, it was Kelly Preston, John Travolta's wife, passed
She's
away.
passed, unfortunately.
There's
years ago.
an
She was so
Australian
good at
bodybuilder who looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. His name is Calum von Moger, and he actually played Arnold in a biography of Joe Weider's life. Joe Weider is the guy who brought Arnold to the United States and kind of built the bodybuilding empire. And this Australian bodybuilder named Calum von Moger played Arnold, and man, he looks just like him. Unfortunately, he got ripped on drugs a couple of days ago, jumped out of a building, and they don't know if he's going to survive.
Yeah.
There's a cheery note to leave.
There's a cheerful
Wow.
note. Leave us on that note, God.
Yeah. And on that
in
cheerful
New York,
note.
No, not cheerful note.
1978, the Stooges and the album Raw Power. He was a stud, and he still is a stud. Iggy Pop. Sorry, I have to comment.
Wow, isn't he like
Bring in the Iggy
90
stuff.
right now?
Well, okay, like I said, I will take that as a compliment because you mean it that way. I used to know a woman that thought that that Mick Jagger was hot. Mick Jagger is like a ballpoint pen with lips. I mean, that dude.
Mick Jagger's different. No,
my
he's
mother mother referred to them as the Rolling Uglies.
That's about the truth.
I have a problem with this man now. Oh, my Iggy Pop. Come on.
Joe Dirt's cousin.
Joe Weider is, yeah.
Thank you. See,
why can't I once get
we're on
like?
the same page.
Why can't anybody ever say I look like Bill Medley or even
I don't know who it is.
The Righteous Brothers? He was the one.
Righteous Brothers.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was a very handsome man. Even I can tell.
Just go with Thor, man. That works for everybody.
Yeah.
All the chicks you go, hey, it's Thor. That's all
Thor,
you need,
yeah.
dude. Good Lord.
Back 6 years ago when I was, 230, my boss walked into my cubicle one day and said, "Did you walk to work today?" And I said, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And he said, "Oh, my wife just called me." And did I tell you this story, Courtney?
Yeah. No.
No, I'm laughing at the comment. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
They didn't
The
compare it to
Ramones.
the
Oh,
blonde hair.
wow. How about Johnny Rotten, the Sex Pistols?
Wow.
My former boss walked into my cube one day and said, "Did you walk to work today, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah, how'd you know? Did you drive by?" And so I was thinking, why didn't you offer me a ride? I was doing it for the exercise, but he said, because my wife was taking the kids to school and all of a sudden my son said, "Mommy, it's Thor! It's Thor!" I was crossing
That's
the
cool.
street, you know.
That is cool.
I have a friend from England. And
Oh,
this is
well,
so-
let's just say goodnight to Gap Stargate. So thanks for
Good
hanging
night,
this.
Stargate.
Good night, Gap Stargate.
Good
Yeah,
night,
have a
Gap.
great week. Yep.
my stories are boring him. Clobby,
Wow.
you see Jeffrey's comment?
You're the
Thor
Thor from the
from the
Crowd and the Incredible Hulk.
I take that as a big compliment.
You're a particular man, Eric.
I have to
something.
focus on the muscles then. See, I'm a female. I focused on the face when I said Iggy Pop initially.
Oh,
That
yeah,
might be
Women
worse.
don't
Bringing up
just
Iggy
look
Pop,
at the body.
It's kind of hurting though. I mean, it's like it's
Hey, it's meant as a compliment. Take it
it's a
and run.
fresh stab every time.
Take it and run. It's a compliment.
Mark,
Thousands of Iggy Pop fans are going to tune into this
I
channel now.
refer you to my earlier Danny DeVito comment. And you're a tall guy, right? Aren't you, Mark?
I'm about 5'11" on a good day. Yep.
You don't remind me of Danny
5'11".
DeVito, Mark. But Danny DeVito
No,
is a
but I'm
cool
saying
guy.
he wouldn't be complimented by it because short,
No.
heavy-set, bald
That's
guy.
so different. Iggy
Unless
Pop
I was
actually a
cracking
sex
jokes,
symbol
though.
to a lot of women, like in the rock and roll punk scene.
Thank you,
He's a
Courtney.
sex symbol.
I appreciate that.
I don't think Danny DeVito is.
Yeah.
No, I got a bad feeling that I'm probably the most vertically challenged out of the guys here.
How
So
tall are you? Well, Dad, man, you're only like 405 inches tall, aren't you? I mean, how tall was that statue? Like 5 inches, I think, 6 inches.
it's about 6 inches. I don't know. I think it's about 9. I think it might be about 9 to 12 inches. Yeah.
Clobby,
Yeah, but you can
read
fit in an
Hungry's
oven,
comment.
so
Huh?
Clobby,
What?
read Hungry's comment about not the one where Thor was an awesome cameo, but above that. Oh no, wait, that was Stephen Ray. Yeah, Thor was a cameo in Adventures in Babysitting,
Sure.
played by
Vincent D'Onofrio.
No, I was trying to think. I was trying to think of
I love that movie.
Wilson Fisk.
Yep.
there we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Let's
Yeah.
show that.
Which
yeah.
one by Hungry Boy? Which one? This one? Art comment for Steve.
Yeah.
The intercoastals look like Adams and Kane. Adams Kane. No one will ever be able to complain.
And it rhymes.
Right? It rhymes. Perfect. Well done, sir.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, this was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you
Thor.
believe this is Vincent D'Onofrio?
It's hard to believe because right after this, he did a Full Metal Jacket.
Yep.
He put on like 1,000 pounds for it or something.
Yeah, he wasn't overweight when he got cast for Wilson Fisk either.
Wow.
That's Wilson.
He was a
Fisk.
lot older though too.
It's got to be a wig.
That's Steve right there.
That's Steve. Yep.
I'm winning my points back.
Thor.
Love Thor. Yep.
Well,
I have a cousin
that was-
named Thor.
Have you seen? Oh, really cool. Have you seen this movie, Courtney? It's a pretty funny movie.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
Love this movie. I watched this all the time when I was like in middle school.
That movie's
Got it.
great. Yeah.
Remember,
It's
I
got
hang
the
out around
hammer.
here because you guys make me feel young.
You are young.
I know.
wow.
I was old.
Hey, Zan Zoltan. Hail.
And
Hi,
Zoltan.
Zoltan.
Where's 70s? Why isn't 70s in here?
Oh, he could pop in if he wants. I don't.
Is 70 still here?
I don't know. We should be here hanging out with us, but no.
Where are you, my friend?
He's waiting until Steve leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that
Oh,
case,
wow. Wow. What's wrong with you?
Hey, I don't blame
I'm
him.
cranky tonight.
Trying to put my Danny DeVito
Someone,
comment.
you guys should
He said
date
Lincoln.
me. That
Look
was
at
very nice.
There we
Very
go.
good.
Here we
So,
go.
Hey, remember, Mark, first subscriber.
Yeah, love Steve.
That should give me a lot of leeway.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
to stay as long as you want.
Hey,
course.
Zoltan. Hey, by the way, a Small Time Republic earlier, you're not the only one that has not watched The Princess Bride. So,
Oh my God!
It's a
Another
great
one?
movie.
Second best movie ever made.
yep, the missus
Yeah.
is telling me we're going to watch it one day, but we got to. It's been crazy.
Courtney, when I was
Someday.
Courtney 30 years ago, a few people told me I looked like Carrie Elways from The Princess Bride, and that
Wow.
was a great compliment.
Yeah, no, that is.
Yeah.
Of course, I've not aged as well as he. As
You-
I've
Yes,
told
you have, dude.
You don't. I don't
Oh,
know
yes,
how old
you
you are,
have.
but you do not look old. So
Oh well, thank you.
And you're older than him, probably.
I am.
probably
older than
am.
him.
I'm 80. Actually, I was lying about my age.
Clobby knows about how old I am. Remember that I just had a birthday.
I know how
Clobby,
old you
so-
are.
Yeah.
do
So
know.
yeah. I mean, I was born 400 years ago in the Highlands of Scotland. I cannot die.
Put it to you like this: if you knew how old he was, you couldn't believe it. You would think, no, you would not believe it.
Thank you, Claude. I think Claude actually resents me.
He loves you.
Yeah,
but
I think
he love and resent you at the same time.
Yeah, but he always makes a joke about Dorian Gray. And,
well, yeah, because he is old, and he looks it.
All right, you got to wait till 70s gets here so we can tell you how awesome Iggy Pop is.
Yes, someone on my side.
There can only be Juan.
70s is my he's like on my musical level.
Courtney,
Courtney,
I've told this story a few times, but I met Carrie Elways from The Princess Bride. Nicest guy ever. He hugged me.
That's cool. Well, Danny DeVito is the nicest guy ever. Like, as I was saying, he used to be a regular at my dad's restaurant. He would come in with Rita Perlman, and they had 4 boys.
Wow.
Italian restaurant?
I think they were all their kids, but
Italian restaurant?
Say that again?
Italian restaurant?
No,
what kind of restaurant?
It was in this town, actually, where I am now, Steamboat Springs. It was like a fine dining, like steak, but also seafood. And we're in the middle of the mountains, so he advertised it like jet fresh seafood, you know?
Great.
So, and it was kind of hidden off of the main road, so he would get celebrity clientele because they could come in and not be, on blast.
Harassed,
like,
downtown. Like I would walk in, like, oh my God, it's Danny DeVito. Can I have your autograph?
Well, yeah, a lot of the drunk tourists, if you were on like Lincoln, which is like the main road, that would probably.
The guys from Dumb and Dumber wouldn't pop in, to
look at me getting all modern and getting my links on Twitter.
Yeah, I looked. I'm like, I went to Twitter. I'm like, wait, I'm not. Wait, then I remembered. I'm like, oh, 70s is not on Twitter. And I'm like, no, he's back
and got back onto Twitter.
I might get on Twitter now. I mean, since the world has changed.
Yeah,
it has changed. Yeah,
that's why I went back. I think
it's way better.
I might not get thrown off again this time.
Had you been banned from Twitter before?
No, 70s? I just voluntarily came off it because I got tired of the bullshit. But
it has definitely changed.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not that I was ever talking about that kind of stuff anyway.
Just were sick of it.
Yeah, I was just sick of it. I wasn't.
I don't use it for
seeing it. Oops.
Wait, I don't use it for the reason of Twitter. I use it for the DMs. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just following all
and
you
for
guys
retweeting streams. That's it.
Well, the only reason why I've gotten onto Twitter is because of starting and streaming and games and the ease of DMing and connecting with people is what it is. So my mind explodes when Mr. Angel and Mark talk about Discord like my kids. It's like one thing.
Discord.
Geoffrey, I told Carrie Elways that The Princess Bride was my favorite movie, although now that I think about it, probably Casablanca. And he hugged me and said, "Oh, God bless you, sir. God bless you." And I bought 2 photographs for friends of mine, autographs. And he said, "You didn't get one for yourself?" I said, "No." And he said, "Do you have your cell phone?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Pull out your cell phone. Let's take a picture together." So Carrie Elways, very nice guy. Dean Cain, and unfortunately, the late Meatloaf was awesome.
Yeah.
Meatloaf, and I met Meatloaf at a con, but it was backstage, so I wasn't buying anything from him. And he was super cool, and I was expecting him to be a jerk. So, but 70s, you didn't see The Princess Bride?
I've seen The Princess Bride, yeah.
I Dad Man said somebody else didn't see it.
Small Time Republic.
I've seen it a few times. Yeah, I've seen it.
Hail to Janet from another planet. I'm sure she's seen
Hey, Janet.
Yep.
Dad Man, watch the first 15 minutes on my say-so, and then if you don't like it, you can tear me a new one.
Oh, it's okay. No, I'm sure you'll like it. My wife likes it, so it's probably something that even if I don't want to admit it, I've learned to admit when she's right. So
yes, dear.
And she's right.
Man, though. He admits it.
Well, she's right. I mean, like I said earlier, it's a running joke. I pick a movie like it could be Kong versus Godzilla. We go and we're like, what did we just watch? And we wanted the humans to all get destroyed by the monsters. And I picked the movie, but then she picked something. I laugh at it, mock it, some chick flick or Sandra Bullock. And then it's like, it's a good movie.
Oh, Sandra Bullock is my female Tom Cruise, by the way, Cobby.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
70s.
Not a Sandra fan, eh?
Well, I think it may be one of those, if you really like the actor, actress, you do, or if you really don't like them, you don't like them. So, because I mean, her movies are all about the same type of thing anyway, too.
I have seen a movie though with her against my will, and the movie was not good, and it was with George Clooney.
Well, there you go. George
Gravity?
Clooney helped ruin it. Yeah,
Gravity is a great movie. I love Gravity.
I thought the movie was good, but I was left very confused.
It's very heavy.
Still. Like I was kind of like, did I waste my time? But I kind of liked it. I don't know.
It's kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan movie with the ending there, and that movie started made me sick a little bit too with the anti-grav stuff, and it was spinning. I almost lost it for a second. I almost lost my popcorn.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I remember feeling that way a little bit. Like, whoa, yeah.
Yeah, for 1 second, it's like, oh, this was not a good idea. Close the eyes.
Most Hungry Boy, you're right. Most quotable movie probably in history.
Why don't you list all the assets in the movie, Steve?
Incredible. One of them.
All the assets?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Princess Bride. Why don't you tell me we had a wheelbarrow on a cloak of death? And I'm butchering the quote, but the assets line on the wall in the end there when he's like,
how about the
and a wheelbarrow? Yeah.
How about the albino? Don't even think about trying to escape. Andre the Giant.
It's a lot of fun. It's a very
it's a fun movie.
Entertaining, fun movie.
Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Yeah, that was good right there.
Very good.
But the problem is my to-do list is backing up immensely. I've still got that. I've still got Highlander 2, which comes highly recommended by Mark and Claudia.
Wait a minute. There's no such movie. That movie I've never heard.
Does not
of
exist
movie.
in this dojo.
It does not exist in this continuum.
Yeah, I'm not the only one who bans movies.
Well, I had to watch it apparently to experience whatever the experience is supposed to be with that one. So
70s, do not go back and watch this whole stream, because I think somewhere along the line somebody said the character was supposed to be British and he's Scottish. Scotland is a part of Great Britain. For those,
Scotland is indeed a part of Great Britain, an integral part. In fact, if it wasn't for Scotland, there wouldn't be a Great Britain.
Yeah, well, it'd still be Northern Ireland. I mean,
there would be Greater England, I guess. But
Great England.
Steve, be careful. I've never been on a stream with 70s before, in the high 70s, but don't make this the shortest ever appearance with you for me.
I'm not a nationalist. I'm okay.
Was it you, Dead Man?
Which one? About
quote. I don't think it was.
No.
Okay, I'm misunderstanding you. I'm sorry.
But this was the quote from Princess Bride.
Somebody else.
If we only had a wheelbarrow, that would be something. Where do we put the wheelbarrow the albino had? Over the albino, I think. Yeah. There's all these great. It's just these awesome quotes in this movie. Yeah.
You don't know these movies that were fun,
I'm curious for one moment. Hungry, was he being sarcastic about Sandra Bullock, or was that? Does he really like her?
He loves Andre. He loves Billy.
No, we above that.
The guy that played Inigo Montoya actually cracked a rib laughing so hard at Billy Crystal's improv during that scene where he's mostly dead that they took him out and they replaced him with a dummy. Because he kept laughing. There are times when it's just
trying not to laugh, right?
And they had to clear the room because he was so funny that they couldn't get through a take. And they got him doing it, and it's just a close up on him, with the bellows in the mouth, because everybody was laughing so hard that it had never gotten done. Yeah. So agree, Hungry Boy. Yeah. Sorry, this is my favorite second movie, so I'm kind of. And Hungry Boy adores Sandra Bullock. It's hard to tell if he's being sarcastic.
Oh,
The Blind Side's a great Sandra Bullock movie.
Hey, Anti-Derivative Jill is here.
Hey, Jill. How's it going?
Jill.
And here's the quote you were quoting before. A bit of despair. Don't even, he's coughing.
The thing about the Princess Bride is that it's a shame it's directed by that complete knobhead Rob Reiner. He makes such good movies, but he's such a dick.
He is.
I try not to think of it when he says directed by I go like this, so I don't have to look at it. And then,
well, I give the credit to William Goldman for writing it.
Great writer, yeah.
Well, Rob Reiner has got some of the favorite all-time movies. So we've got The Sure Thing, which I've got to do a review show of, and maybe a watch along. The Sure Thing by Rob Reiner, of course. Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap
is one of the greatest all-time.
And of course, Claudi's favorite movie.
Yeah,
Few Good Men. Few Good Men.
He's a great director. Just those three movies.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder.
These go to 11.
I love that.
I mean, Nigel Tufnell, and my brother-in-law is in a band, and he said just like sometimes I just watch that over and over, Spinal Tap, because it's it's so true. It's just
he's got a great record as a director. Like When Harry Met Sally. Just such a funny movie.
What a great movie.
Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Sally.
I'll have what she's having.
We are going to speak.
Yeah, have what she's having.
I would be proud to partake of your puppy cash. Yeah.
And,
with Princess Leia. Yeah, with Princess Leia and Claudia, what's the name of the guy? And if you do, what's the actor?
Yeah.
I think it is Bruno Kirby.
Bruno Kirby, that's right. Yeah.
They hook up with
Rest his soul
immediately.
Yep. Yeah. And actually, I have the Criterion collection of Spinal Tap, which was like at one point I think it was like $200 to buy, or something obnoxious that I bought it on DVD because it was out of print. And they've got the extras in that are so hilarious.
Great. The
Bruno Kirby in the cab with talking about Frank Sinatra goes for like 20 minutes, ad-libbing. How talking about how much I love Frank. And
that guy was funny.
There's a whole movie of the extras. They edited it together to make a complete movie, as if it was a second movie, because they had so much good stuff. And then the commentary by the cast, it's so black, isn't it? It's blacker than black.
Dave, Dave said Steve is the Brute Squad, to which I would just like to reply: It's not my fault being the biggest and the strongest. I don't even exercise. I loved him in that movie.
He was great. And the sad thing is, his back was so bad in that movie to lift up Princess Buttercup. It was actually a harness, and he was in such bad shape, physically, from all the wrestling and the injuries through the year that he actually couldn't lift her, which was sad. But you'd never know from the performance. Yeah.
And they had stuntmen and doing stuff for it, like other giants who are not as giant as him, and why do you wear a mask? Are you burned by acid or something? No, I just think they're terribly comfortable.
I think
everybody will be wearing them in the future.
Speaking of big guys, have you guys been watching The Offer at all? Because
I've heard that's good.
In it. Lou Ferrigno's got a role in it.
What kind of role is he playing? Like a bouncer type?
He's
or
playing a mafia bodyguard. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of lines, but he's very visible.
I thought he was playing the actor who played Luca Brasi in The Godfather.
No, he's playing a bodyguard, a mafia bodyguard in it. No. I mean, he may get cast. I don't know. They might cast him in the movie. But
70s. When I met him, I was just shy of 6'2". Imagine me standing up around 6'2". I would put Lou Ferrigno's shoulders right about here.
Jesus.
He was like a landmass. I shook his hand. It was like shaking a catcher's mitt. I mean, everything about this guy is humongous in the way that like railroad car couplings are so humongous,
Yeah, nice to see him getting work, like that, and it's a great show if you ever get the chance.
75-year-old deaf ex bodybuilder. I mean, I'm very happy for him, So
I know.
Anyway,
I'm going to share a picture of Carrie Ells, and he got bitten by a rattlesnake, so it's not that bad of a picture. But if you're a tad bit squeamish, you might want to close your eyes. Just as a warning: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not that bad. I'm squeamish, but. So someone we mentioned rodent of unusual size, so bit not by a ROUS but a rattlesnake. Grateful to the staff of Malibu Urgent Care, LA County Fire Department, and staff and medical professionals at UCL Health for their great care. I'm recovering well. So thanks to all those wonderful folks.
How the rattlesnake though? I want to know how the rattlesnake is.
I hope none of them had
afraid of rattlesnakes for that reason.
I hope none of them had different political views of his. Otherwise, he'd hated him. Like he always does. He's a terrible political bigot.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Gary Ellis.
Really?
Big time TDS.
Big
that's too bad. That's too bad because he was such a nice guy to me.
Oh, he's horrible that he didn't like politically.
Really?
I wonder if they had to amputate his finger or person.
Well, look at the lefty crap all over his timeline.
Yeah, well,
don't look at his timeline.
Yeah,
if you like a celebrity, don't look at their timeline.
Yeah, I'm glad he's okay. I never wish anyone will. Obviously,
no, if we're not like him, of course we don't want. Yeah,
Otherwise, we have to say the same thing about like every comic artist we've ever liked.
Most of them are that way, but
and
not.
He was great in wasn't it Hot Shots? He was in
Yeah,
part
hilarious.
I brought your chafing dish back.
You know what the most recent thing I saw him in? Well, it's a number of years ago. It's not that recent now, but I love his show called Psych that they used to be on USA.
Yeah, remember that?
And he
show,
did a couple of guest appearances on there as a recurring character, and he was hilarious. And he's got a new movie out I haven't seen yet called The Hyperions.
That's weird that he's a lefty because he's also a devout Catholic. Those two things don't seem to go together.
Actors are, though. You know, he's British.
Yeah, but he's a British actor. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of British theatre actors. He was a theatre guy. They're all. It's part of when they get their union card to be an actor, equity card. They have to sign up that they agree with everything else.
Right.
The Labour Party.
We know what's hilarious. No, go ahead.
Well, it's fine that they are, but it's the fact that he's not very tolerant of others. You know, I mean,
that's the thing.
That's a shame.
What's hilarious? He's got this new movie out called The Hyperions, which is kind of a retro type throwback to old superheroes. So it looks kind of fun. I actually want to see it. But what happened was it was made. He did it, I guess, a year or two ago, and then the distributor sold it to the Daily Wire. So he has to be, and that's why I was wondering, going, this thing just came out a couple of weeks ago. It was released a month or two ago now, and you don't see Carrie Elway's doing any interviews about it like they always do it. And now I know why. Because Daily Wire bought it. It's hilarious.
So he doesn't want to show.
I hear it's pretty good. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I just wish I didn't know the politics of a lot of the performers. Yeah. I just wish I didn't know. I mean, I wish as much as I love Twitter and we've got this tech for us to hang out, even though we're spread around the country, which is great. But
the world, that was the great thing about the old star system, though. They weren't allowed to talk about that stuff. It was they just did their job, and their agents told them to shut up outside of it, and that meant all of them, including those that were on the right, like John Wayne or whatever. I didn't want to know what they thought about anything. I don't care. I want to see your movies and your.
Then you had the Jane Fondas of the world, and we won't get into the politics of that. But I mean, that's not even going to another.
Let's not even go there.
Yeah,
when you just said
life
that,
has been an act.
I was just thinking that you were making fun of aerobics teachers. That was instantly.
Apparently,
my mom was an aerobics teacher and had her own company in the 80s, and I instantly thought that. I did not think of her politics or anything.
I don't want to, Courtney. I don't want to be to pry too much, but how are her knees? Because that shit's bad on the knees and hips and.
Oh gosh, sometime I'm gonna have to. The whole thing's just funny, and I'm gonna have to show you one of her old signs that she used to put up, like these flyers. Because it's like a silhouette of her body in the leotard with the what do they call them? The leg warmers and stuff.
Leggings.
Leg warmers.
Yeah. Leg warmers. Yeah. Yep. Hey, who remembers the movie Perfect with John Travolta and Jamie Curtis? And all my buddies who went to see that.
Oh wait,
it was just stupid.
I
do remember that.
It wasn't as bad as Michael. Michael was terrible.
Of course, I never watched it, but yeah.
The thing about Jane Fonda is that she has spent her entire life acting, and her life has been an act. She's taken on the mantle of these different things. Like she was the aerobics person, and she was the Vietnam War protester, and she was the interior home design, blah blah blah. Every stage has been an act, and she's taken on a persona.
She's only the aerobics instructor to me. That's where she is.
She's in Frankie and Johnny right now, a show about octogenarians, and I guess that my mother-in-law said she loved that show. And,
that show's funny.
It's been doing really well, and it's hit 7 seasons on Netflix, which I guess is a world record. I guess for surviving on Netflix.
But Mrs. Rock fan's been watching that, and she said it was fine, but at the end it really starts to get disconcerting when Jane Fonda, because she's had so much work, looks so much younger than all the people around her in it. And not only that, of course, she can't really emote. She's like this. Yeah. So it's really off-putting. It starts to get very off-putting. She's 80, and yet she's got not a wrinkle on her face. I mean, there's a huge
look at Madonna. Look
at
Madonna now. Do you ever see pictures of Madonna?
I'd rather not.
That is so disappointing to me. Yeah. I loved her when I was younger. Not really idolized her, but I saw every concert of hers. I was very spoiled because they were a lot of money.
She was. I mean, there was the biggest thing going for a lot of girls in the 80s. I know my wife and all their friends. They loved Madonna, and that was it.
Up
dressed
until
like
the World
her.
Music Tour, and then she got I don't know. Just
well, it's tough to it's tough to age too, right? Especially for women. I mean, there's a double standard there. So I mean, guys, we can get a beard and look kind of scruffy and get that weathered look, but women are supposed to look like they're 29 forever, and it's not easy. So.
Well, all I know with actors and politics, Team America has the best take on all of them, of everything out there. Yeah, what they portrayed, all of them. Not Diamond and all that. It's just hilarious. That and the fact that movie did things with marionettes you would never think possible. So,
Hail to could not be reached for further comments.
Hail, yep. Thanks for joining us. Yep.
And don't say Film Actors Guild.
Although
I mean they don't say the an acronym for it.
Mark, I will say that I think there's a lot of age discrimination with men too. A lot of women, believe it or not, are extremely angry that at my age I have a baby girl. They take it as a personal attack. No, I'm not even joking.
Oh yeah, wow.
They take it as if I'm somehow going, ha ha, you can't have one, which was not my first thought when becoming a dad.
Yeah, my dad went through that.
That's crazy.
My youngest sibling is like, I don't know, 19 years younger than me or something. But my dad was old. My dad's 71, and my younger brother's like in his early 20s. So it's like old enough to be grandfather.
Well, I had a really good friend in high school. His mom was divorced and got remarried, so he had a sister that was about like 15 years difference or 16 years difference. And once in a while he would take her out. So he was 18, she was say 2. And then he was out with his girlfriend, like, "Oh, your baby girl is so cute." He's like, "No, that's my sister."
That used to happen to me and my boyfriend all the time. They would think it was our kid. We would take my little sister and my little brother to the mall. They're a year apart.
Yeah, it could have been.
I must admit, I get a lot of resentful attitudes from women and some guys because even at my age, I'm still devastatingly handsome. And they resent it. It just
I would sound like my dad.
I was just about to tell you to go to hell.
Steve's the same. He gets it too.
I was just about to tell you to go to hell. Yeah.
Hail to Tiki of Doom.
Tiki of Doom.
Anti-derivative, Jill. I don't think you should even look for logic. I don't think that's driven by logic, but it is still a form, I think, of age discrimination nonetheless. And the fact that people take it as a personal affront to them. I have this wonderful, you've seen her picture. I mean, she's she's always like this. Well, that's not that's not the smiling one. The smiling one shows up.
You rule back, buddy.
So yeah, but
do you think there's a lot of age discrimination still in our society? Specifically thinking of Western society. I mean, it used to be, I guess, a long time ago. It was more the other way around that older people ruled the roost and the young had to fall in line. But I think it's probably the other way around now. There's a cult of youth. Has been for a long time now.
There's also something. Sorry, go ahead, Courtney.
I was just going to comment on that because, like you were talking, we were just saying about how like women, like the older they get, they're considered like expired or whatever. I am finding out that at my age now, like my mid 40s, basically, all of the males that are going after me are like 30 and 31
young guys.
Years old. It's so weird.
There's the whole, and I hope you don't have to bleep this word out, but there's the whole MILF thing.
Yeah.
And the whole.
I only have a dog. Okay, I don't have kids.
Yeah, but there's this weird, like, Stacy's mom has got it going on. There's this whole thing that's happened over the last 20 years where younger guys are after older women, and it's.
I'll take the compliment, but it's like, no, that's creepy. Especially because I was a teacher, I'm like, no. I think about like what grade they were in,
You were a music teacher, weren't you?
I only taught music for 1 year, like as a specific music teacher. And then I worked with children with severe and special needs, but I always like incorporated music into it.
I might be able to pull off bald, but I can also pull this wig off.
Oh.
Have you seen me with this one? Courtney's seen it, of course.
I don't know, 70s. You'd make a great Lex Luthor.
I would actually.
If you could do an American accent, can you do an American accent?
Depends which part of America we're talking about.
That's a good point. We're all over the map.
All y'all.
All y'all.
I lived in Texas for 3 years, so
that's being clubby, yeah. And Dad Man too. Aren't you a Southerner?
What's that?
Oh yeah, he's one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a Southerner.
How about can you do California?
No, he's not in trouble for that.
No, well, I could say like every second word, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I can't do Valley. I can't do Valley speak. No.
Yeah.
They do like to say that, like, don't they?
How about Boston?
Sure.
How about Boston? Can you pack the car in the yard?
Yeah,
Boston Con, Harvard Yard.
Yeah,
Harvard Yard.
Now you're in the yard, next to the bath from the
you can be
car.
Lex Luthor of Boston.
Massive tits.
Yeah.
I lived in Boston for 6 years and I still can't do the accent correctly.
I have a friend that I went to CG school with, who is Peter Griffin. He has glasses, the same haircut, the same body weight, and the exact same voice. And you think
he wasn't the guy that did the YouTube videos as Peter Griffin, because there was a guy who did a whole series of those.
We got
You have the slip ups. Sorry.
Joe's probably already clogged.
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, so.
Anyway, you know when you're getting old, and when MILFs, as you say, are too young for you. So I'm well past, and we're onto the GILF stage now.
Well, I still think of myself as like, I don't know, like mentally, some days 14 years old. Okay, I'm not. I'm not.
This is the thing, Courtney. I found the same thing.
You do too. My mom says it. My mom's 69. She's going to be 70. And she's like, I still feel like I'm 21.
Yeah, I don't feel any different from when I was 18. I might feel like I have a little bit more life experience and knowledge, but I don't think very differently from that. I like the same stuff.
Young at heart.
I have the same attitudes and I like to do the same stuff. And it's kind of weird when I think, my God, I'm nearly 60. Jesus Christ, what happened there? Because I think in the old days, when I look at my parents and my grandparents, they aged rather rapidly. I mean, they got to the age of 18 and they put a suit on and a tie, and that was it. They were old people from that point onwards, and they gave up the fun, kind of. Not everybody, not everybody, but there was a certain amount of that going on. And I'm from the I was born in the 60s, so I'm probably slightly ahead of you there, Courtney. You're a little younger than me.
I'm a 70s
so there was
kid.
still that attitude that you got to a certain age and that was it. You had to act like an adult and no more partying or whatever. And I've never got into that. That's
funny that you say that. My mom has always kept her hair really long. She was a redhead forever. Now it's whitish, but she her mother-in-law, so whatever. My stepfather's mom always used to give her like guff about not cutting her hair. She's like, you're supposed to cut your hair when you get older. Age. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? She purposely kept her hair this long forever.
There was a little bit of that, Jeffrey. I mean, I did, my father was a World War II veteran, and so were all my uncles. And yeah, they were all born before that World War II and brought up in that era, or were already adults in that era. So, and Britain was a pretty miserable place after that. Poor and miserable. So I guess there wasn't so much of the fun, but I think they still had the fun. They just put more of a front on, about it.
So I just want to give a shout out, to we've got Matthew Pounder joined us, and we've got a new person listening, Liam. So Liam Greywolf. So
Liam Greywolf. I've actually had some dealings with him over on Twitch and played with him a few times. Yeah, awesome. Absolutely great guy.
Thank you for joining. Yep. And Tiki of Doom is saying, I was born in the mid-'80s, and for some reason, born in the 50s just came to my mind from the police.
By the police, yeah.
Police, yeah. Born in the and I'm like, born in the 80s.
My dad looks just like Sting, like identical.
I was in high school in the 80s, in the 80s, yep. So, yep. But all ages are welcome here, yep.
Well, what was funny in high school, the closest person that I looked like was a college basketball player, Sean Miller, who played, I think he played at Pittsburgh back then, or one of the schools up north. It was hilarious because it was the one person that I looked at that actually I thought I did look a lot like. So, but hey, back then I was all into sports. So
Mark's Googling him.
No, I only went.
Mark's Googling him right now to see what
hands are up here. Yep.
I'm from Philly. We do anti-Pittsburgh anything.
Yeah, well, he became a basketball coach at Arizona and other places. So yeah, it's funny.
Pittsburgh's one of these cities that I always kind of say, what would I ever want to go to Pittsburgh for? Then I visited it and I really enjoyed it, and I went back several times. I like Pittsburgh. It's got a bad rep, and yet it's a very nice city.
It's got a bad rep from people like me.
They cleaned it up nice. It cleaned up nice. Yep. Let's put it
Steel
that way.
City.
But yeah, I love the north shore of the Allegheny or whatever it is, where they've got the football arena and they've got the baseball ground and they've got the hockey arena all next to each other. And then the Andy Warhol Museum are all in a row. It's great. It's really
the
nice.
Warhol thing, that's one cool thing about Pittsburgh. But I've never gone to the Warhol Museum, actually.
I enjoyed going to the baseball there. That was like a nice experience. It's a great.
In Philly, you don't get it's not pretty. Like out there, it's more, it's not as gross like Philly is, I'll just say.
I've been to baseball in both Pittsburgh and Philly, and I think Pittsburgh was slightly more
Philly
enjoyable.
has the stadiums all right next to each other too.
They do, and there's some good
but
bars
it's like a
near
parking
there.
lot.
And they have jails. They have jails in them too.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. But you need them when you're a Philadelphia fan.
Yeah.
Because we have the worst fans ever.
One of my college buddies had season tickets to the Phillies and the Eagles. He's like, do not wear your Giants gear when you come here, and just be quiet.
Especially Eagles fans. They are the worst. Oh my god!
And he's like, I'm a season ticket holder, and we're nuts. Yeah.
I went to a Flyers game with my Dallas Stars jersey on, and they weren't even playing the Stars, so everyone got really confused. But I think I actually got away with it because a lot of people bought me a beer, so that was okay.
Because they weren't playing.
They were like, "What's this guy doing here?" And then they realized I wasn't even from Texas, or I was living there, but I wasn't.
They use your accent, and be like, "Someone told me I was coming to see the Dallas Stars, so I bought the jersey."
Is this the baseball?
Where's the baseball? Where's the pitch? Where's the pitch? Yeah. No, the field.
It was a good laugh. It was good.
Tiki's got a good.
I'm side noting to him. If I was actually at my home, I would pull out the bag. I have the candlestick cans on it. It's like pink and black stripes.
Yes,
they're all knocking
Mother George.
So I am going to raise the IQ of the whole channel here.
In my case, that wouldn't be difficult. I lowered it
brought Maddie in
considerably.
Yeah, and I got rid of me. I'm going to call it a night. I've been trying to do this for an hour, but you guys are just so interesting and so much fun to talk with.
About 45 minutes. I've been watching the clock.
Wow.
Always great, Steve.
Take it easy, buddy.
Wow, cheers, wow.
I know, it shocks you when they do that.
Next time, give me a little warning. Yeah, thanks. Have a great night, everybody. It was an honor, and I will see some of y'all tomorrow night on
all right, buddy.
Channel.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, mate.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you. Take care. Good night, Thor. Go save Asgard.
Bye, Iggy.
And Midgard. So
right guard. Save right guard.
We were talking about the great George Perez to start off the show, and some key issues that we could show. I guess I'm trying to think of. God, I mean, his Avengers stuff is legendary. I love his FF run, but what would you say? Like, I mean, everyone would say, when I put Infinity Gauntlet back up on my wall there. Trying to think of what.
That's one of his biggest.
Wonder Woman.
His New Teen Titans is probably his if I had to pick, maybe his most popular team, but definitely his most popular team book for sure. His most popular individual book would be his Wonder Woman run, which was pretty extraordinary. And of course, this is one of his most famous. Well, this is actually one of those Walmart books that uses a Crisis cover. That's not Crisis number 8 right there, but I mean 7 right there. But that is the Crisis number 7 cover though. But I mean, Crisis on Infinite Earths, one of his most famous. I mean, my God, Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah,
there's just so many, dude. Obviously, we lost the great Neil Adams last week. He was known for for a lot less things, a few less things than Perez was known for. And Perez was extraordinarily prolific with the interiors by comparison. Of course, the covers are out of this world. Even this is again 2 weeks in a row, 2 people who were up there with, again, worthy of being mentioned with the Kirbys and the Ditkos and and the Kuberts and all the great names like that, the Gil Kanes and people like that. And wow, we took a hit. I mean, yes, we knew that George was because of earlier in the year when they announced it, and that's just happened this past Friday, to happen right there after Neil, which we were a little bit less expected. In fact, it was fairly unexpected. Man, it's just wow. We took a hit. Comics has almost lost all of the giants. In fact, I can name like a scant few that are still with us. Sad. Yeah, that was just a crisis.
No, I just sorted by value, price of, not that matters in terms of, but just I figured maybe some of the key issues would pop up to the top, of course. So you've got the
Judas contract, Jeffrey. Yep. Judas contract. Actually, going to review that fairly soon. It was before I knew he'd passed. Oh yeah, he did that Beatles comic right there.
God, no, that's a great one to review. 70s, yeah. So you got George Perez of the Beatles.
I'd love a copy of that. I would love that. I've never seen one in the flesh.
Yeah, he did. They did it. Marvel had a little Beatles comic back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
He didn't do that. Some of the ones I show he didn't do the covers of, but he didn't.
Yeah, these are and actually the fun
that cover, but
the fun thing was when I met him too. I had some issue. I just grabbed all my FFs, and a couple was like, "Oh, I didn't do the cover, but the interior. You want me to sign the inside or the cover?" Obviously an artist knows his work, and
right.
I think I had him sign the splash, the splash page.
Nice.
And of course, this is this Judas contract.
Cover,
yep. So that's
the Judas contract is a classic.
That's one to get.
Carlos and I are going to review that one soon. We talked about that last night. We talked about the night before we knew about George. Yeah, now he didn't do this cover, but he did do the interiors of a few of these Inhumans. It's a Kane cover, but yeah.
And you can grab these digitally, of course, but if you can get the floppies, always or trades. But of course, his Avengers run is just legendary. So they have collections of these.
Look at that. That's exactly right.
Did I get
defined prolific?
Did I skip?
Now see, I don't remember him having anything to do with that comic right there. But
I don't remember artists. Let's see. Why do they have George Perez on this one? Maybe it's a compilation title. Ms. Marvel. This isn't a special.
It doesn't.
This is like a reprint. I think. Yeah, it's a 1A.
Facsimile or something.
It's a facsimile.
I could have swore that was Dave Cockrum or John Buscema, one of those on that one. But
sometimes in those facsimiles they put in other stuff. Yeah.
He was
is
just
this your spreadsheet, Mark, or your database?
This is called a program called Comic Base. So if you collect comic books, I got to do a review of this and talk about it on my channel. But it's the great thing is it's constantly updated by users, and it's connected to the internet if you subscribe, and then so you can do an update. And every time there's a new comics, you can grab them.
There's a huge amount of detail in there. Looking at the columns.
It's an amazing program. Yeah. So it's. So I've got my whole collection in here.
His Wonder Woman was very, very popular, of course. That was he actually wrote and drew that.
Yeah.
And he changed her. He was gonna his run on it was probably the most successful on a character that didn't have a lot of success, really at the time.
I love
his Avengers run. Didn't do this cover, but he did do the inside of it, I do believe.
And of course, Taskmaster.
Yeah, first appearance of Taskmaster.
Wait, add that to Wanted. Yep.
And it's a guy. Oh my God, that can't be right.
Only $86 right now. That seems cheap.
Because the Black
Widow depending on
really
not graded, I guess. Yeah. Not graded yet. Well, that wasn't Taskmaster that was in the movie. So.
Yeah. I have that. This is, of course, that's just a little piece of that poster that I have a 5-foot long version of that poster on there. Of course, it's the cover of Crisis number 7. Classic.
And he did the cosplay with his, was it his niece?
With his niece dressed up like that, yeah. And he was holding her like that. Yeah.
And his F stuff was great. Yep. And it was so nice to be able to nice to be able to talk to him about that. Yeah.
Oh, wow, man. I love his Avengers.
Yeah, so definitely, thank you, Liam. I'll do a review on that. Yeah.
Super team artist ever. Hey, Rob Altus. Yeah, he did some Avengers for sure.
And these are just omnibuses, but some of the people brought this. Yeah, some people brought them to be signed. It was so cool.
His Teen Titans were on there, right there. Oh, he got an omnibus. Wow, you got that one?
I know I don't have it, but I'm saying when people were bringing it to get signed that day, and I'm like, oh crud, I should have bought one, and it was like they had the Art of George Perez was one of the books just on him, and
tell you at that time Wolfman and Perez made their Teen Titans. I think it was challenging the X-Men for popularity at that point.
Yeah, no, it was popular. As a kid, you remember, everyone was talking about the X-Men and the Teen Titans became huge.
They teamed up.
Huge hits,
yeah. Yeah, sometimes it shows
Robin was one of the Teen Titans?
Yes.
Robin? Yeah.
He was
in the original group and then New Teen Titans, and then later he changed to Nightwing. Oh man, this one here, Incredible Future Imperfect.
Book, yeah.
Great book.
That's a great book.
2-part.
$50 now. Wow.
What?
Yeah, for the trade paperback. Wow.
For the trade?
I lent that to my nephew.
Was
You
that
better
just
give
one
me
of the
that
regular
back.
issues?
No, it's just a trade.
It looks like oh my god,
$50?
dude, really?
What are you talking about? It can't be $50. I figured I'd give him the trade because it's better than giving the original issues to read. So
I'm gonna have to get going though, so I'm gonna peace out.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna make you. It was okay to make you what you want to. No
yeah,
full
you
screen.
always put me on blast without telling me anything. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll post your channel link. Yep, sorry.
Hi guys. My channel is called It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. It is totally a random insomniac channel, and we are funny and we talk about crazy things. That's about it. Friday night I'm going to do a stream. It's my birthday next weekend, so we should have some fun.
All right.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, and then Courtney will be streaming at 4 a.m. No, just kidding.
I go until about that time.
I've actually rolled over
and
seen her channel going.
Oh, you've seen, a lot of people wake up for work and we're still going. Yeah.
I get up at 4 in the morning to go to work some days, so I could stream at that time. In the car on the way.
Right.
All right. Well, everyone have an excellent night. It was nice.
Thank you, Courtney. Happy birthday. Yep. Hope to catch you soon. Yep.
Thanks.
So everyone sub to Courtney's awesome channel. Yep.
Have a good one.
Bye. Yeah, Courtney's a regular on my Monday music shows. So.
Oh yeah. Excellent.
She's a music expert. Yep. She's went to the Berklee School of Music, which is not in California.
She knows her stuff, that's for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
She's probably forgotten more than I ever knew. So.
Yeah, she knows all our bands, and I love music too, but I'm not nowhere near an expert. So I hear people talk like you and her, like, wow, naming all these obscure bands, and like, wow, that's amazing.
She knows a lot more than me. I'm stuck in the past. That's the problem. She knows a lot more modern stuff. I'm mired in the past.
Some of these pictures are tiny.
Yeah, it depends on who uploaded. Yeah, that's the one thing about this. So when this program came out, I think about 20 years ago, they're like, we have 800 by 600 covers, and this is a 4K monitor. So when I go to show it,
I'm just going to ask a dumb question, but was that comic the basis of the television show with David Carradine, or was it nothing to do with it, or was it the other way around?
It was that was a comic that there was as you are probably familiar, in the 70s there was a huge kung fu craze. Kung fu movies were coming over here. They were all almost. See, I dispute that song a little bit though. Not everybody couldn't have been kung fu fighting. Some people were just standing there watching. Let's be honest.
But they were as fast as lightning and a little.
That I'll definitely do.
Yeah.
So the kung fu craze of that time was huge. So Marvel and DC cash, and especially Marvel. This book here, Perez did a White Tiger story in there, something like that, or Sons of the Tiger or whatever, I think. But but they actually did do a couple of issues of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu that were based on the TV show.
Okay, right, interesting. Yeah, I loved that show in the 70s. Absolutely loved it.
This one, of course, has Shang-Chi. But yeah, that was a cool show. Absolutely.
Yep.
Can even son of Fu Manchu survive?
There's a character you'll never see again in a movie, I don't think, or not properly. Fu Manchu.
Nope.
And they could have easily do it too, but it's too racist. It's racist.
Great character. Yeah.
I don't know why they have his name on that one. Now, this one I know why.
Some of these are compilations, so they did the compilations. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
so what's nice about this program is if you have this book, you could scan it and then upload it, and then you get credit for it. Yeah. So what happens is, I was saying, this program is so old. Originally it was 800 by 600, so they did release a 4K version, but not the new covers are 4K, and some of them are, but not every issue is in 4K. So especially the older books too. I mean, and some of the copies you can tell they're bad scans, like certain, like some of the
Love
early
that one.
Amazing Spider-Mans,
300
but
bits,
yeah,
300 DPI or whatever. They're really cool. Yeah.
but the new
It's a
ones
nice
are
cover.
usually better. Yep.
Yeah, I
So
love the covers of those
That
Deadly
was a
Hands. Go
beautiful
ahead, sorry.
cover. Yeah.
now here we go.
Small
So like
Perez
what
cover here.
and if you scan it in,
Oh,
like
nice.
some of these I might have scanned in, and then they give you credit. There's a board like who has the most points for like helping the
Cool.
software out. Yeah, which is nice. Yeah.
Some people covet the top spot in that, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a guy that has over like 60,000 or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
And yet, are there
Absolutely,
things that
Steve.
you cannot find in there? Are there
pretty
things that
much.
are missing?
I've never found something that I can't
You can't find.
can't find. Yep.
Interesting.
So I mean, I think we've pretty much found everything, even stuff that initially I couldn't find. It was like a different name or under the, sometimes there's some weird names for comics, and the way they do the volumes.
And I'm assuming it's not just Marvel and DC, but there's all sorts of different imprints on there.
They've got
All of it.
pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It's an
Anything
unbelievable
that's been printed,
collection.
probably, yeah. Oh, wow. I love these old Marvel science fiction magazines.
Yeah.
Hello, worlds.
That's a great one, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Love those old 70s magazines with Curtis. Oh, boy. Lin Wein. The late Lin Wein.
So I got
Great
that
Kirby
issue.
cover.
Yep, Jack Kirby, George Perez interior. Yep.
Great interior by Perez on that one. I loved his FF run.
When was Agatha Harkness first then? She was in the low 130s or something?
91, 94, somewhere up there. Issue
Wonder if I have
94
that
or is
one.
it not issue 91?
Yeah, 94. You're right, 94.
Is it 94?
No, I
Yeah.
think your 94 is right. Yep. These are, of course,
Oh, look
just
at that
compilations.
Black Widow.
Yeah, but
Infinity
they're
is
great.
great, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Little
those are cool
hardcovers.
covers.
Those are hardcovers.
Yep. Yeah, where's Black Widow? Yeah. I love the way she's drawn there. Yep. So, yeah, so George Perez. Yep.
She
That's
can't
Perez
help
right
it. She
there.
was just drawing that one.
She was just drawn that way.
Yeah, buddy. She
Yeah.
was sexy back then.
Well, that's why the actress that plays her was just very upset that people noticed her for her look. So,
I know.
No,
there's
that's
only a
terrible.
few people. Only a few people in the world that are that pretty. So,
Yeah, how dare anybody look attractive to another person? It's just
Yeah.
the worst thing ever.
wow, this is only $27. Infinity Gauntlet #1. Oh, they must have printed thousands and thousands of those. So, and I think didn't George Perez only do the interior art on the first few of these, and they switched?
Yeah, it was
They
if
switched.
the first two or three, maybe. Then they went to Ron Lim or somebody like that, maybe.
Yeah. So
I'll be honest with you, I bought those, and he wasn't really that well inked in them. I didn't really keep buying them when they first came out. The Infinity Gauntlet.
Yep. Oh, this issue was crazy.
Oh
when
my
this
God,
came
one of my
out.
favorites.
Oh yeah.
Kirby cover.
So I've got that signed by George Perez. This is the one probably I had him sign the inside. I think. Yeah. When
He
he
did the
mentioned,
inside.
he's like, I didn't do the cover. But
Yeah.
he's like,
He knows
oh,
what's
can
Kirby.
sign the inside. Yeah. So I have it's signed.
I think
Signed
Coletta
by
inked him
Perez.
too. Oh man, if I'm right and Coletta inked him,
Let's see.
then man, you got a Coletta
Inker-
comic signed.
Inker Joe
Was Sinnott? Good.
Sinnott, yep.
Coletta inked the second part of the story, maybe.
God, that's $25 now for that.
Oh wow, you got a Sinnott ink. That's fantastic. 4.
Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised that's
fantastic.
worth them.
And it's
No, it's a great issue, but I'm just surprised it's worth. I guess the old issues are going up, or probably Thing versus Hulk. I guess that's why. Yeah. So
the shirt I'm wearing now is the second part of that story, or the first part.
okay.
That cover, of course, is a lot worse for wear. He definitely had nothing. Well, they probably just a compilation. Oh, he definitely did a part of this though. Although most of it was
Pegasus.
burned.
That was a great
Most of it was burned, but
storyline
there's some
too.
other stuff in there too. I love Project.
Well, that'd be a
Pegasus.
good one to review, maybe.
I
down the
I
road.
mentioned that before. We should review Project Pegasus, and we should do the whole saga. Probably we could do it.
Yep.
We could
Do it
do
in
something
chunks,
with
maybe,
Hercules. So yeah,
or you could do it all at once.
It's enough of it to where like we did Hercules.
Do it one night. Yeah.
He
yeah.
did this for sure.
Well, that's a great one. Yeah. Oh, I got that one. Yeah. Oh, cool.
That's
Did
John
he
Jameson,
sign? Oh, I didn't have him sign it. No.
J. Jonah Jameson's son.
Yeah, and I was trying to dig through my collection. I remember trying to find books too. I had a lot of them in order, but out of order. But that would have been a good book for him to sign because he did the cover on that. Right? Yep, he did the cover. Like him. Yep. Of course, that classic Wonder Woman. Wow, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's inspiring. That's such an inspiring cover too.
Yep.
So well done.
I love it. He did wonderful art on that book. Yeah.
And he really made Wonder Woman.
He did something
popular.
inside of there, but this is a Kevich cover.
Yep.
And that's a Buckler cover, but it did the interior. No, it might not be him. Buckler. That might be him. Buckler on the inside.
No cover artist listed. So see what's great too. If they would love to have you have this program, you go through and correct, or go to there's a database too. I think that has all the covers.
I can't even tell what issue number it is.
That's 170. It's tough to tell. It's kind of a small one yet.
Yeah, it's small. Anyway, I do remember the issue very well though. That's when Ben was still, when that's when what's his face
the exosuit, right?
Yeah, the exosuit. Yeah, and Power Man are taking over for him.
Power Man was only in for one issue or two, I think. Yeah,
a couple. Maybe a couple.
It wasn't in for that long yet. But there's another one. George Perez one. Yep. FF. Yeah.
That was actually a Hannigan cover. Crazy. It didn't look crazy enough for a Hannigan cover, but
this
it was.
One?
Yeah, 170. No, 170. That's Perez right there.
Yeah.
But Perez did the interior of that comic though that you showed it, so that's why it was there. A lot of Perez is in there.
Yeah, this is like a special edition, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. Screw 52.
Well, I've got that one signed. Yeah.
Kirby cover. He didn't mind signing the interior since he didn't.
No, I
do the covers. So.
Yeah, I said, well, you didn't do the cover, and it's like, that's Kirby that did that cover. Like, well, we're in good company here.
Yep, he loved Kirby.
So, and he said, yeah,
that's what inspired him to become a comic artist. No, there you go.
That was a good question. So, yeah, so Comic Base is the name of the program. So it's let me put the website in here if anyone wants to get it. They Google it. Yep. But yeah, just Perez was just so amazing. God, just one amazing guy.
Yep.
So here's the
another
Comic Base software.
Big time Lost Comics right there.
Yeah. There won't be another one like him ever again.
No. I mean, there's not real comics don't even really exist anymore anyway.
I love that issue. Yeah, I remember buying this at a tag sale at our church. I remember where I bought this. And I
found only 25 cents.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Those are the days. Yep. Well, the other thing we wanted to talk about too, I guess, was SNW. Maybe quickly, people are asking about that, and I know we're about that. Some people in the chat a while ago, but
okay. I know our two friends here probably didn't watch it. They're way smarter than us.
No,
yeah,
not interested. No,
I ran the other way. Like I said, I'm behind on my must-watch list already.
So we'll skim through the opening. So this
it's up to you, man. You want to talk about this filth?
Not for a long time. Just for a few.
About it tonight. Doomcock's rant was classic.
Oh, hey Zach.
Hey Zach.
He was great tonight. Yeah. So
that was funny as hell.
Well, isn't there a? Oh no, I'm thinking of Picard season 2. There's a huge amount of retconning of Next Generation in that.
Oh God, yeah.
Stuff that
last episode was so bad.
Yeah, stuff that doesn't make sense. That
makes no sense. Yeah.
You're trying to. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in this one as well.
Competent writers who loved Star Trek, a show like this could have been magnificent.
Well, it would have been a prequel, which I'm kind of against anyway. But I loved Enterprise, even though it was a prequel, and I think that was against it. I still think they should have done it. But yes, you got to if you're going to do a prequel, respect canon. And when I'm not talking about you can't do the little tweaks here and there because even the old shows, messed up their own canon sometimes. But when you're that disrespectful of everything that went before, but you're trying to tell everyone this is real Star Trek, no, it's this thing here. Holy shite! And
it seems like they've got a bottomless pit of money.
Yeah, because nobody's watching this stuff. You're right.
It's a bottomless pit.
Nobody's watching this crap. Yeah. I don't get it.
It's a shame.
Special effects are cool for that.
It's a shame
right?
because the show they offer is a Paramount Plus show. That's they've made a good show there.
But you know,
This is
70s.
not good.
Thing is, I'm not sure they have a lot because P-Hard they had to pull a gimmick to save money to send them back into the past, into modern day to like almost like 8 of their 10 right, like something like 8 of their 9 of their 10 episodes were all filmed, all shot in modern day here, so you didn't have to do crap.
That's right. Yeah.
Now this show, you can tell that at least some of the sets they spend a good bit of money on. They're still going to go a lot of cheap methods though, because they don't have a lot of money right now. I'm not too sure. And it is not Star Trek. Agreed, Matthew Pounder. Although, look, he says that without Gene Roddenberry, I still consider the shows that the 735 to be Roddenberry fall under it.
Yeah, so basically the basic premise of this first opening, I guess, is Pike is lost, and after what happened in STD, he knows his future, which I can't stand. But at least they did address. I guess they addressed it. It would affect him, I guess, so you can't ignore that. You
should never know your own future.
You shouldn't know your future. So I guess it's a first, basically ridiculous. It's basically a first contact episode. You've got Uhura as a cadet on the bridge. Spock looking actually worse than he did on STD, and on STD actually the makeup and hair was like his hair's all messed up, and these the brows are going way too far down that they shouldn't go, or just doesn't look. He looked better on STD.
And there aren't they on the restaurant of that Star Wars Galactic Cruiser back there? That's what that looks like.
Yeah, they were in a restaurant on Vulcan, I think. Yeah,
on Vulcan, they don't have.
That's the Galactic. No, that's the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser they're on, right?
Yeah,
right. Yes, and of course
now the ship is the least of my concerns. I say of course they had to add some lights on the, and TNG has that, so I really don't like that. The pylon should have been squared. The old pylons, I thought maybe they could have done a refit. The impulse engines, I think, look cool. Although they're further apart, I thought they should be closer together. But that's the least of my worries on the show. The bridge is what really bugs me, is how bad the bridge and the ship is too textured on the side too. It's way too much.
Is it a model or is it CGI?
It's got to be all CGI. I can't imagine.
Almost everything they do is CG this year.
Right.
Yeah. So, yep. So I guess they do take some. The spacesuits at least took some cues from the Tholian web to a small extent here.
This show
well, they are. I'm just.
Here's also as you said, Clobby. One of the problems there's a problem with prequels because they're made years later, and they always make the technology look more modern than the show that it's.
Yeah.
After it,
it's a bad paradox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough to do that. Yeah. So
you're saying, hey, can you get me off the show? It really sucks. Call my agent. Will you? Jesus. That's what he's telling you right there.
They should have put some. They should have put some cup holders in there. If they're going to redo the bridge, at least put some cup holders in.
If that was Kirk, though, instead of Pike, he'd be saying, "Hey, sugar tits, come over." No, sorry.
Yes, of course.
Come over here.
She's like, "Don't worry, we'll run the ship. You just sit there and look like a captain. Let the women handle it."
Ensign, I don't think I've seen you before. What's your name?
And the ship, of course, they've added the Aztec pattern, which was fun as a modeler to always have to paint. But the original ship did not have that Aztec pattern, so they're retconning that. But that's,
it didn't have those lights on the inside of the nacelles.
No, I don't like those lights. Maybe if they'd put just lights on the outside, but engineers love to change things. So, but you always gotta have more. I think you can't have less is more. So this is Nurse Chapel and Dr.
Mabinga.
Mabinga, thank you. I thought he was pretty good. In the episode.
Dr. Mabinga should not be on the ship yet.
No, he shouldn't be on the ship, but I thought his acting was pretty good.
That actor looks familiar.
He was pretty good, I thought. Her the way she was written, I never blamed the actresses, was like a super doctor, even though she's a nurse in the show. So we'll see if they tone that down.
She doesn't become an MD till after the Kirk's 5-year mission.
Well, is that the same
That's
chapel from the original series?
Yes.
Well,
okay.
They say it is. Yeah.
Well, okay. It's in quote alleged. Okay.
And I think is that supposed to be George Kirk in here or Sam Kirk, and then Spock
Sam
maybe
Kirk.
fighting Spock.
I don't know about that.
There's an issue. There's a show coming up called Spock Amok. So
You were kidding me.
Spock.
Amok is one of the titles listed. Yep. So we got Spock Amok. I guess they're copying.
Wait
that. I know. Is that a Gorn?
Minute. Go back to that for a second, if you would.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's a Gorn. No, I mean Spock Amok. If they're really going to do an episode where they're on Vulcan, and Sam Kirk, who is on the show at the end of this first horrible episode, is going to fight the Khalifi with Spock Boy, and that's not a holodeck crap or some shit like that. I want to be there when Doomcock blows up because he will. That's going to be the greatest Doomcock. I mean, I'm going to scream right along with him. That's going to be the greatest Doomcock rant in history. This is absolute. That right there makes me want to punch the universe, my special universe punch, where everything in the universe feels it, whether you're innocent or guilty. I punch it one time and everybody goes, "Ouch!" That is disgusting.
So yeah, we don't know the context yet or what's happening. But the thing that always bugs me is like, let's do something new. You don't have to,
No, Sam Kirk was not in Starfleet. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, but anyway.
I thought he was. They did say he was in Starfleet, and he quit Starfleet to be a botanist. From some of the Trek stuff I've read, I thought he years ago. They said 10 years ago he was in Starfleet, and then he quit.
You keep saying that, so I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and concede that you read it somewhere. I don't think it's an Operation Annihilate.
It could be wrong. Oh no, but he's definitely not an Operation Annihilate. He's actually by that point.
I'm saying they don't say that in Operation Annihilate.
Yeah,
so, but let's go ahead and give you that, even because you're the one who keeps every time I say it, you say that. I don't know what
I've read it, but it could be.
I don't believe it.
It could be something I misread. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and concede it for a second that he was in Starfleet. That he was on the Enterprise 10 years before Kirk gets there is still asinine.
Yeah.
If he was in Starfleet, but I don't think he was.
I think, or unless they're reading stuff that they've since retconned, since your brain, you read so much stuff, you're trying to remember.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. But there's
every time I say that, you're the one.
I'm the one. Yeah.
You're the guy who says, I think he was. Here's the Gorn.
You realize he's just doing it to wind you up, Clubby.
It could have been it could have been a novel that I read 20 years ago. I could have read a book or something where they put him in Starfleet, and then
why is the Gorn the Geico lizard now?
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Cool lizard.
So these sets look cool here.
They're in the Palace of Versailles.
Product placement.
There's number 1, and this is new Khan Noonan Singh's descendant. So they had to put it you don't need all these member berries. So that's the problem I have. It's like you have to have number 1 if you're going to do a show with Pike on the Enterprise. All right, you have to do number 1. Obviously, you have to do Pike, and I guess you have to do Spock because Spock was there. Maybe you could avoid it, but and then you should have the original Doctor that was on the ship. Not Mbinga. You could have
Dr. Boyce isn't there, right?
You could have Mbinga maybe in the 5th season or something. Then you add him, at the very end, or add him as an assistant. Seasons. Yeah, assistant.
But yes, Baby Gorn. They mentioned the Gorn in this one, even though Kirk hadn't met him yet.
Well, Baby Sweet Gorn.
Khan's relative had actually been casted. Their colony ship got caught by the Gorn. I guess she was going up somewhere to take over another planet. And they got caught, and she was the only one that survived. And they say that the Gorn have they let the last survivor out in a life raft in space, is their tradition, allegedly, how they retconned it. And instead of doing hey, we saw this mysterious creature, and write a report like lizard-like or amphibians attacked, or don't say it's the Gorn. Just leave maybe. I don't think they had to go there, but you could have just said, an unknown alien species who's never contacted. Seemed reptilian, and then just left it there. Then you let the viewer fill in the blanks, but they have to say, "Oh, it was the Gorn." It's like, How would you know it's the corn?
Named them already.
Like, how would you know the name?
You mind if I answer Rob Altus?
Oh, go ahead. Yep.
How could Kirk's brother, Khan's granddaughter, or whatever, actually she's a descendant, but later down, great, whatever, Nurse Chapel, Dr. Mabenga, Anna Gorn, all be on the Enterprise before James Kirk? Because the show, sir, is written by absolute imbeciles, morons, children, toddlers with the brains the size of a pea, and who do not like Star Trek, never watched Star Trek, don't understand Star Trek. You get the idea. Sorry.
Yep.
I like your answer.
It's pretty simple, I guess. Yeah, but
the short answer would be no, they can't.
They can't. You're right. I like yours. Yours is less complicated.
And they did make
this viewer screen is too big.
Way
and
too big.
Again, they make the bridge look way slicker than the Enterprise of the original series.
Go check out my widescreen TV, man.
Yeah, because the bridge on the original, on the pilot, actually, the screen is more like 4:3. Actually, it's a much smaller, and then later on they did make it a little bit bigger. But that
bridge would look fine if it wasn't trying to be the bridge of the Enterprise.
Well, there's too many lights. So now this, I have to say, I love this console because they've got physical buttons here, and these lights aren't too bad, and you've got some analog retro-looking screen. So this was about the only shot of the bridge that I liked, but they put lights in the rails, and there's way too many lights.
But to the point, though, it looks so much more advanced if it's like the original Enterprise before the TV show. I mean, this looks like some next generation or beyond that type of technology, just from the appearance.
But at least they did physical buttons here, thank God, and did some analog looking stuff. So
and
like
the space too.
Yeah, this panel, but this looks way too futuristic for what for that Enterprise. And let's see, there's way too many lights here. Way too distracting.
They have got a trans character there, though.
Yep, that's supposed to be. That's actually also
that's Ortega, right?
That's a swap. Ortega, that's Jose Ortega. So that's a swap, a gender swap character. And no, Colt's not on there. Whoever asked that, somebody asked. Could not be reached. Yeah, comment. Not on it. Neither is Officer Garrison that I know of. But hey, Kyle is.
So I don't know what this is. I guess this is the trailer showing different episodes. So, Spock, they need to fix his hair. And of course, they're making out, and that was one of the worst parts of the episode. The beginning part where Spock is
because Vulcans are horny all the time.
So in modern Star Trek, Spock is just totally driven by sex.
Yep, not every 7 years either. By the way, that's another thing. T'Pring, and he didn't meet T'Pring until he had not met T'Pring until they had not seen each other since they were 7 years old.
Yep.
Well, that's treatment of the Vulcans is not logical.
No, it isn't.
It's not.
Vulcans aren't sexed up humans. They're acting like humans. They were like having a little fling at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
That's just,
Well, that was just to show Spock without a shirt on, like a throwaway joke line, because he goes to answer the captain, and he's got his communicator. And all right, another thing to the show, the communicators on the show are gorgeous. So they did do a great job with the communicators. This is my one company.
That yet. Remember,
that's true.
They look different, and even the second pilot, and both pilots.
But the tricorder looked gorgeous. I give him that. The tricorder on the show that Chapel was using looked amazing. So that did look good. I'll give him credit for those props. Look gorgeous. But they put the communicator for the prop. They put the communicator in to like a docking station with a screen on it, which I thought was an interesting way to do it. Thank God they didn't put a view screen on the communicator, which would have killed me. So they did. They put the communicator in a docking station, for everyone who had like Microsoft Zoom, if you remember that. Just kidding. It had a dock, so you dock, and then it had a screen with it. So that was a nice touch, I thought. So I'm giving, let's see if I get some.
We read you. Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
So yeah, so we're good.
but Mark, but you know, my background's not in the Trek world, but I mean, it almost sounds like a case where they're taking the established Spock, who's based on logic and non-emotion, things like that, and I think Claudia said making him, I mean, between the sex and everything, it's another deconstruction of what we knew the character to really be, and now we're looking at him before what we knew him to be. So it just doesn't make sense why you do that.
A horny teenager, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, when Spock was a great point, Evan. When Spock was first on the pilot, he's smiles one time. They hadn't fully formed the character yet, so you know they kind of just ignore that part of it, and he's a little bit more emotional. But you got to realize the character wasn't fully created yet. Nimoy did a lot of work on that character with the writers and directors to flesh him out. So. Well, but in this episode, they had him smiling a little bit, which is.
See, even if, and I might have missed things along the way, but even in the other episodes like Next Generation and other appearances of Spock in the future, he was still the same stoic, non-emotional. I mean, from what I've seen, unless I missed something, which now going to the early days here, they've completely redone the character. I mean, you would expect totally this, maybe these changes in the emotional and all the physical stuff, maybe you would expect like TNG and later down the road, maybe he evolved from one to the other, but they're taking this and predating what we knew him to start out from.
Yep.
Which doesn't make sense.
Going backwards. Yeah. Now this scene, that was probably the only scene, one of the very few scenes that I thought was the writing was good on, in terms of, Spock telling the captain to get past knowing his future, and there were a few good lines in there. Although I just don't like having Spock on there, and the portrayal never hit it. But I thought a couple of lines in this scene. I'm being kind to, I'll point out what I thought was semi-passable. I thought at least this scene wasn't a bunch of crying and moping, but at least it was to get the captain motivated, and had some good, a few good lines in it. And
Stephen Ransom's got to go. You chased him away.
Triggered. Sorry, great show.
He's triggered.
Triggered. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You're good, Stephen.
But, a couple of lines in there. I know. But overall, I did not. I give it a thumbs down. But I'm just saying, I like Anson. I like Anson Mount, but I can't stand. How Spock.
I know he's a great actor, but this is a waste.
A better Black Bolt.
Yeah, but there were a few that motivational. I think confronting your death. I thought there were a few decent lines in there, so I'll give him credit for that. But it's all right. The scene with the horse, you got a horse in there. That's cool. Shuttlecraft looks too modern.
Is that a space horse?
It's a real horse. Yeah, that's
that's a space horse.
That must be Tango.
Admiral April lands there to it's the classic. We need the captain to come save the day, and then. And Jill agreed with me too. Yeah, see that scene contained the only line of dialogue I liked in the entire show. So I trust Jill. So thank you, Jill. Yep. So if the whole show was like that, but it's not, unfortunately. April was fine. April flies in, but the guy shouldn't take credit for creating Robert April.
That's not
at the very least. Like. Yeah, at the very least, say I brought him to the screen. Gene Roddenberry and I worked together. We brought him to that animated episode. Now her character is not horrible yet, but why are you doing the member berry? Well, just make a whole new character. It doesn't have to be relevant.
She doesn't need to be Noonien Singh's descendant.
No,
it's so stupid.
It doesn't. It's dumb. It's just so stupid.
Everything about the show.
He tasks me.
I mean, you don't need to do it. It just doesn't need to be there. I mean, write the character, make the character interesting, but no need to have the character and then the Gorn. I mean,
I think in their inexpert minds, they believe that that's what the fans want. This is what they think, and they're so poor at what they do.
And all the polls and stuff. Yeah. And there's Samuel or George. My brain is fried. Sam, right? Yeah, with the stash. Yep. And actually, Kirk Shatner played him in that Operation Annihilate. Put a mustache on. Yeah, and they did his hair up. Yep. So, and this is what really killed me. So they had. I'm going to get that off the screen.
Look
but they
on the
had
bright side. At least he's straight. I mean, I'm not that there's anything wrong with not being straight. Don't get me the wrong way, but they haven't changed him that much. You know?
Yeah. Just wait until he meets James T. Kirk and has a little fun with him.
Well, there's this is where they may go. You see, this is the problem.
Yeah.
And not because again there's anything inherently wrong with that, but it just isn't the character. That isn't those characters.
Exactly. Agreed.
See, now
that ship looks like ass.
I like the saucer section. This is okay, but the nacelles look a little bit too big. I don't know if it's the angle, but they seem like they're on steroids. They're a little bit too puffy, a little too on steroids. And then you don't need the lights here. They got to add always got to add more lights.
They might need some penicillin.
It looks poor.
But you're right. Hey, one good thing is I know what y'all are talking about by nacelles now.
Yeah.
Learn stuff being around you guys.
The 70s. Would you like to hear just like a short list of unbelievably stupid things in this episode?
I would.
Have you watched the 70s or?
No, I will. That's why I have you guys to watch it.
Okay.
So I don't have to.
And the Enterprise is spinning around like a fighter craft here.
I'm tired of watching shows that don't respect the canon or the so I don't watch them anymore. It's just too annoying and there's nothing in it for me and life is too short.
Well, you've seen some of them, like with Spock, Spock boy messing around with what's her name, hot girl by the way. Well, she's perfect. Okay, there are two guys and about 8 women on the bridge. Now look, if I'm in a room with 8 women, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying it looks so stupid.
The thing is, do they all at the same time of the month? Do they all get really angry?
I'll check. I'll look at it. We'll know in the next episode probably.
Because they're all on the bridge in the confined space at the same time.
Oh yeah. Here's one you'll love. Here's one you're not going to believe. I'm random pulling out a couple of stupid bits. They're going down they're beaming down to this planet, and you know how they often would be doing on the original series, and they would have to make themselves, look like the indigenous people of the planet.
They did their own cosplay,
right? And they would now on the old show they would just add some prosthetics to their faces and what have you. Well, paint their whatever it was. In this, they just can't. They can't just do anything right. They've got to have what's the name? Super Doctor Nurse Chapel has to inject them with this stuff that temporarily fake changes their genomes, and it makes them their whatever needs to pop out of their head, like their whatever ridges and all that crap pops out of their head.
Isn't that something that many millions of people in the world have just taken? No, sorry.
Exactly. Well, there's actually they do have some stuff in relation to that. They use that for a message for that sort of thing that happened in the world, and I'm not kidding. But so anyway.
Oh, hail to Captain Cockney Spock.
Hey,
Captain Spock. It's just easier to dress up and put some prosthetics on. It's actually easier than changing your genes.
So they go to beam down, and there's 4 of them, I guess. They're in the transporter room, and they're in their uniforms. I'm like, don't they have to dress? Don't they have to change their clothes? You would think, right? Like they used to do. Well, they do. They beam down, and when they materialize on the surface, they're wearing their disguise clothes. In other words, the transporter changed their clothes. It's so stupid. Oh my god!
I mean, it is a cool idea, but it doesn't belong in TOS. Maybe it belongs in like a series set 1,000 years in the future, maybe. But I could see that. But don't do stuff that contradicts.
Thing for a transporter to be able to do. Yeah. I mean, what else can you make it do if it can do that?
It's actually cured people on TNG way too many times.
Right, but this is magic. Even on TNG, they didn't do that.
No, but I'm saying that if you did that, like if you did a series 1,000 years in the future or something, then I could, excuse it. But you don't go back and do something that the Enterprise never did.
Why would you need the transporter to do it? You
just change your clothes.
You'd have a room you stepped inside before you got in the transporter that completely transformed you.
Well, yeah, because on the show they would always say we need to fabricate uniforms or weapons, and you assume there was a replicator or something there that could, create the uniforms. And some of the shows they actually, I think they. When I've read the technical manuals, you actually throw your uniforms away and they're re-replicated. So you never actually wash the uniforms, which is a kind of cool idea. So, you throw them in the hamper. But,
they're down on their little mission on the planet. And there's a scene where they have to, Spock boy has to be told by the security lady to neck pinch a guy because he's too stupid to figure out how to do it himself.
I thought in those days, sorry, they hadn't perfected the neck pinch. I thought it was the nut pinch. Wasn't it the nut pinch? And then they did the neck.
Yeah.
No, well, he could do it. It's a Vulcan thingy, which is fine. But he was being told what to do. And then what about that part, Mark, where something was wrong with his eye, and he needed more of that serum in his eye because something was messing up with his.
Well, yeah. So they were actually using the security. They were doing a retina scan.
Retina scan thing.
So as someone on Doomcock show pointed out, I don't know if it was Doomcock or someone else, it's retinal scan is all your veins in your eye. It's actually not something genetic, although I guess, if they're scanning for DNA. But then they made this alien race pretty
did into his eyeball.
They beamed the thing into his eyeball. So
oh my God, I'm like, I can't believe this show.
And they're like stupid. They're like, the transporter can't do this.
Transporter wipe your ass for you too?
I would never use a transporter again if that happened.
So they beamed something into. I mean, I could see if they beamed something like onto the ground or somewhere. But the worst part is.
I get in the transporter and say, "Give me a larger penis, please."
Hey, what about that? Okay, this whole plot of there was this planet that was sort of like an industrial, but they're around our level that we are now, technology type thing. And because of there was something from an STD episode where a warp engine or something had been out in space somewhere that got left behind, and they looked at it. I swear, I kid you not. They looked at it with a long-range telescope, and by that, we're trying to use that technology to make themselves a quote warp bomb. So
that was the worst part. That was the most ridiculous part.
By looking at it from a telescope, they can parrot the technology, and they don't even know what it was for. So it's antimatter, warp, stuff. And
so how far away were they looking with this telescope? Because they'd be looking at old technology. They'd be looking at very old technology then, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was one of the
light years. Yeah, it would have to be within. Yeah, but it would have to be pretty close, right? Because of the way light travels. Yeah, even a light year away. Yeah,
exactly. So anyway, wackiness ensues because number one, they went there to get number one to rescue her because she got herself caught. So
from this ship. So Jill was talking about this ship, which. Looks ridiculous. This is
USS Archer. They call it the Archer. It looks like dog crap.
Yeah, it's like, and couldn't you have at least afforded because they've had this type of ship
before. That's an insult to Archer.
But normally they have a much bigger connection here. So this looks like it can be sliced off. Usually they have. So I've seen this style of ship before, and they only had 3 people on the ship, and they all beamed down and got caught.
1 guy, 2 girls.
3 people, yeah. So, by the way, before I get to one of the stupidest things, here's another great one. There's something going on. I forgot exactly what now. Some shit. Oh yeah, they beamed up a couple of people from the planet, and they're running around on the ship. We find out that there are emergency medical transporters in sick bay that can beam inside and out all of the places of the ship.
That's new.
Remember the original series, intra-ship beaming had not been. In Day of the Dove, Spock even tells him it's rarely been done because of the dangers involved, Captain. So, and then on the Next Generation, they didn't have transporters in sick bay. By that time, they could do intra-ship beaming, but it was all done from the various transporter rooms. So it's like, transporters in sick bay? You nuts? So stupid. It's bad.
Intra-ship beaming would be tough because you could end up being accidentally beamed into someone's bathroom.
Well, that's what
when
Spock
they were in there.
said.
Well, they added it to TNG as part of the canon, but that's in the future.
100 years after they did it, yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't add stuff that didn't happen, or you do it like at the end of the series or something. You get it, have it be earned, or like you do it like someone dies doing it,
and something goes horribly wrong, and they say we'll never have to do this again. We're never
even still. Do this again. Why would you have them in sick bay? So stupid. But as someone did mention in the chat, Matthew did. What's his face? So Pike decides to tell these 2 governors they're about to use this warp bomb on each other to destroy it. That's basically wipe out their planet. So he calls in the leaders of both. He actually meets with someone at the point, and he actually tells the guy, "Take me to your leader." Oh, I wanted to throw up. So he's got both leaders, the leaders of the planet, right? And he tells them who he is. Basically just because there's no Prime Directive, by the way. This episode is where they're going to make after this. They're going to make a Prime Directive. So Pike basically tells them, "Sorry about spoilers, everyone. No, I'm not." And he does a stunt. He beams down in the middle of them. He tells the Enterprise to come into the atmosphere so they can all see it. And then he shows them a video from YouTube, I guess, about how rotten we used to be in the 21st century.
I've seen clips of that, yeah.
And guess what one of the clips is? January 6th.
Insurrection, yes.
Yeah.
It's basically started the World War III, as somebody said.
Yeah, yes. So more Orange Man bad stuff on their show.
It's pathetic. Yeah.
So, Jill, here's the Hermes class for you. This is what the classic Hermes class looked like.
That's better than.
See, you have this cool connection here, and it makes sense as like a cheaper ship. You're only going to have
still 3 people though.
So, yeah, 3 people on the ship, and this is the refit version.
50 maybe.
Yeah. This is a nice. Yeah. So the only thing I don't like is the deflector dish. I think that looks ridiculous. This better.
Oh yeah, they did have an anti-vaxxer thing too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's this obsession with putting current day politics into science fiction.
Right.
It's pathetic.
Not needed. Yep.
No.
We want good allegory, but it's just a shame.
I don't think they know what allegory is. I mean, it's everything of them has to be directly out of their brain, of their current obsession.
Yeah. But so overall, we're definitely not happy with it's going, but it's not a surprise to see what's happening.
Expectations.
Well, after listening to this, I wonder some days if somebody like Neil Breen could do better Star Trek. So
who?
Neil Breen. Okay, you don't know the name then. He's made some weird stuff over the years. So,
well, I don't have to know who he is to know he definitely can make better Star Trek than them because who couldn't?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could probably make better Star Trek using my copy of Power Director.
I know you could.
Yep.
You could write better Star Trek for sure.
Yeah, they should actually just call it Star Trek TDS. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Star Trek TDS.
That's pretty good. Oh God, I'd steal that from you.
That could be the next show, Star Trek TDS.
Star Trek TDS. I love it. Boy, it so is too.
Yeah, I mean, but the bones of the episode could have been, good, but I don't want to see it.
Wasn't in it.
But I thank God, but I don't want to. Let's do something newer. They should have way, different crew, and the idea wasn't a bad idea. Like a planet gets warp drive tech too early, but they didn't connect the dots correctly. And other than that one scene with Pike that Jill and I agreed on, there really wasn't wasn't as egregious as STD in terms of really butchering things. But there's as we talked about, there's a lot of stuff that they got really wrong in the characterizations. That's what gets me is more the characterizations when they get those wrong, and then they just they don't motivate. I mean, you always get stinkers in every TV show. And sometimes you can nitpick a little bit too much, but when they get the characters wrong and they get the motivations wrong and they really violate things that happened in the past just to try to throw out some member berries and to bring people into the fold, because I think they know how they've screwed up with Discovery. There's a huge contingent of people, fans that aren't happy with the show, and that's no surprise. And Picard, even I was reading season 2 reviews, and some of the the mainstream media, for lack of a better word, were bashing that second season as not being good. So, I think I can see where they've tried to change the bones of what they're trying to do. Mike and I were collaborating times. We were talking about that off air last night in terms of the skeleton of the show. They've kind of tried to copy Star Trek, but you don't have the writers, I think, to get it done because they're just missing so many basic things. They're trying to show some fancy new things or add transporters when it didn't happen. Let me show that
but you can see
the bridge.
27 of them sitting in a room going, "Oh, I've got a great idea. Why don't we have the transporter do this?" And they don't have a clue how that affects every other part of canon. They've got no idea. "Oh, I thought of a great idea. Let's do this." And
I'm getting a headache now. Yes, 70.
They have no idea.
Yeah. Like let's put a lot of lights on the bridge. Like look at all these
make
lights.
This
You would
character
go,
a woman instead of a man, even though they were a man in the original.
You don't need to do it, or just come up with a totally new character. If you're going to do it, just don't flip the name.
And you know what? If we get into trouble, we'll just claim it was time travel. Or something like that.
See, like this is not bad here. I'm going to say this isn't too bad. You don't need the lights. That's okay there. I'm seeing buttons.
Bad. Yeah, it's not
but
bad.
like, why do you need to add an extra step here? Why do you need all these freaking lights? Look, like this crew is going to have a headache.
Not short. He looks tall enough. You don't need to boost him.
You don't need lights. You don't need lights in the railings. You don't need all these lights. It's like, get on the ship, like turn off the lights.
It was in the budget, and they were damn well going to spend it.
Well, because you have LEDs now, so it's just like look how busy this is. I want to be
because Mark. After at the end of the shift, they could turn it into a disco.
Yeah. And the Enterprise should have carpet on the floor too. They have carpet. It's comfy, right?
Oh man,
that's what Gene wanted for the TNG, the bridge. He said it would be more like a living room and more comfortable for hours and hours in space, not this, sterile, exterior. So, all right, the panel. I'm going to say again, the panels aren't bad. Too many lights, but
I mean, it looks nice.
We got
enough.
buttons.
It just
we
doesn't
got
look
buttons
like it's supposed to.
Yeah, and like what's all this stuff
nicely
going
done.
on? You're on a spaceship. You don't have extra energy for all these lights and all this junk. You don't need it.
You
don't need it.
Design. I mean,
it's the future.
Everything should be simplistic, and it's supposed to be a military ship in most ways, in most respects.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have all that fancy shit. It's utilitarian.
Yeah, just because we can do it doesn't mean you should. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's one thing the original series got right, given that it was probably budgetary constraints, but they didn't fancy everything up. It was utilitarian. It looked utilitarian. Yeah,
so there's the TNG. Well, that's a little. That must be a fan recreation. It's a little bit off, but yeah, it's supposed to be homey or more comforting. A lot of it I didn't like. I didn't like that chair. Actually, it was too comfortable. And when Data and he's sitting there, your back. I thought it was maybe a little bit too comfy the other way. But that's, to me, this is how the bridge should look, and I just don't know why I know why, but. There was no need to, or should look like this on my Playmobil ship. Yeah, so it's definitely over designed.
That looks better than this show.
Yeah, so that's Playmobil. I got that ship. So it's just way.
Studio 54. They should have called it USS Disco.
Yeah. So way overdone. But it's a shame that at least because when you spend time on the bridge, it's like. That scene when in Relics, when TNG, when Scotty goes onto the bridge, no bleep. I got to clip that, no bleeping, and you just love it. I mean, you could add a few more bells and whistles and a couple of fancier things here and there, but not. You don't go from that to going from that. Keep that in your mind. That's almost the same shot, right? Boom to this. It's like
So they've taken that and implying that in the future on the Enterprise, let's downgrade it all and make it look a bit shabbier.
Yeah, like you could add another turbo lift. Okay, I could see that was a flaw in the original design. There's only one turbo lift, but if you look at the plans, there's actually a corridor that runs around, and the sick bay is actually right outside the bridge on the original
plans. Could have also gone for a somewhat different color palette and perhaps filmed it with a little bit more of a retro look, because that's easy enough to do either digitally or with filters. Just tone down the modernity a slight bit,
Yep. No, I 100% agree. Yep. So, but we've had a great time tonight. I think. It's getting a lot of fun. We almost went 4 hours.
Just one last thought, though. What I want to know is, do the doors on the ships have two guys pushing them open and closed all the time?
Swish. Yeah. And Captain Cockney's talking. I am so sick of time travel, especially in Star Trek. It should be banned. If there's one thing I could be banned.
Boxed ourselves into a writing corner. Let's use time travel to get out.
Stop.
I'm sick of it too. Well, I've always had a problem with it in Star Trek. I mean, with rare exceptions, I think it's been overused in Trek. I mean, other types of time travel and stories are fine, I guess, but in some cases,
or when it's an accident. I think when time travel's an accident, I kind of like that.
When it's a fantasy like Doctor Who, or when it's a comedy like Back to the Future, something like that. I don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, let's not start talking about Back to the Future because we'll have to get the captain on here, and then we'll never
the
get off the
captain loves
stream.
Back to the Future.
We will dive deeply.
He loves it. And he loves Marty. I know the captain loves Marty.
Yeah,
it's great conversations. I love it. Yeah,
you're the man, Captain Spock.
Yeah, he is.
Well, let's warp out of here. It's been an awesome night, and appreciate everyone hanging out. And here's to Steve Mitchum, the great Maddie's daddy, for joining us early, and Courtney. Yeah. So make sure you sub to Courtney's channel. And we had a great time tonight. Dadman 70s Clobbering, thank you for joining. Sad night to start with George Perez, but I think it's great to remember how
rest in peace,
special
George
these
Perez.
people are. And how much they did to make us feel comfortable, and in terms of it was my comfort zone reading those comics, and it was just like such a fun thing to do. And I found this. Let's see, I've got. I wanted to show one thing. Found this great drawing that someone had done a rendering. So it was George Perez on his desk, and then someone had actually changed it. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. I think I saved it here. Let's see. Where's when things go out of order. Let's see. Where's when you're trying to find something on your hard drive. If I can find that. Well, 70s. Why don't you plug your awesome channel?
I had not got a lot to plug right now, given I've been working, so my video production slowed down. But I am just about completed a new video, which I'll probably or hopefully get uploaded tomorrow. This thing about the use of the talk box in classic rock songs.
Oh, interesting. Kind of like Peter Frampton.
Yeah, Frampton. You've given away one of the top 5, but there
sorry, oops. Yeah.
He also had the top 5 here in rock. Peter Frampton. Used to. He's like me.
Oh,
now,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's weird when you see him now. You think that can't be Peter Frampton. He had this.
Yeah.
So
and he was a prodigy too. Yeah.
Exactly. And Tuesday night, obviously, I'll be on Toxic Tuesday with Nick, who I believe has hit 1,000 subscribers at last.
Yeah,
he did.
1,200.
Congrats to Nick.
Yeah, he went up like boom. And
it
was brilliant.
It was amazing. Yeah,
he was at 950 the night before. The next morning we woke up.
200 plus. Yeah.
I think Gary, he mentioned something about where he was, and Gary said to him on Twitter, "Well, if I'd known that, I'd have shouted you out on FNT." Gary must have went out and said he may have just retweeted him something. Gary must have worked some magic there. The great Gary.
Yeah. And Nick is a great guy, so congratulations to Nick on that. And I know it's a lot of hard work to get every sub. You always appreciate getting a sub. So
indeed. So I'll be on Toxic with Nick. Toxic Tuesdays. Rocky 2 this week because we did Rocky last week. Yeah, it'll be good. The rematch. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
Oh yeah, I got to do my slideshow
and then
for
next
that. Yep.
Monday I'll do another one of my It's Only Talking Rolls, which have been a lot of fun so far. I can only do them every 2 weeks because the amount of prep that they take. Now I'm working again, but they're good fun. I haven't picked a topic. Last week was the Metal Gods. I'm thinking of doing a Scottish rock one, so that might be the next one. We'll see.
Nice. Yep. Great stuff going. Yep. So and then Clobbering Times. I know you've got great shows planned for tonight now on George Perez.
Yes, we'll be paying tribute to the great, legendary, brilliant comic book artist, master of comic book art, George Perez. That's 2 weeks in a row. 2 Monday Night Mark C comics talk shows in a row where I've had to do that about the passing of a legendary comic book artist, which is just strange but extraordinary. So, and on a happier note, Wednesday night, I will be joined by the great Michael French from Retro Blasting, my very dear friend, and always great to have him on. He has a great channel. Anyone, if you haven't checked this great channel out yet, and we'll be talking about sort of an update on a show we did about a year ago together, almost a year ago, about the MCU/MCU. We'll update our lists on that, and we probably might talk a little bit about Doctor Strange if you've seen it. And since there are so few of us out there that don't hate it, so we'll be doing that. So
that's an interesting one because I had no intention of seeing it, but I've heard some people said it was pretty good. So,
have you seen the first one?
Oh yeah, I loved the first one. Loved it.
I'd say at some point, if you get a chance to take a look at the second one, I really enjoyed it. It had its faults now, but I found it was kind of interesting. Sam Raimi did a very Sam Raimi job on it for the most part, but it had its faults.
Fan, yeah.
It definitely
I
has
want a Dark
some
Man
problems.
sequel. That's what I want.
Did they do one?
Yeah.
Well, a real one.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, and Clobby towards the retro blasting. I love watching their
cool
their restoration projects and stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
Especially stuff that I have. It's just it's incredible what they do.
Oh, it's great channel. Yep. Great channel.
Buddy.
Yep.
Love it.
Great channel. Yep. So So we had a great night. Dad, man, let me mod you on Twitch here. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this.
I've been known to ban people without even touching my phone on Twitch before.
Yeah, how do I add you as a mod on? Not that we want to bore people with this, but manage suspicious user. No, wait, how do I mod someone on Twitch? Let's see. All right, we'll figure that out in the
Hang later.
I'm gonna ask a hang. Yeah, how do I mod someone on my channel? Yep, it should be able to click the three dots and.
Well, I know it's pretty easy to time somebody out. I don't understand how to do it on YouTube, the YouTube side. If I can do it without even thinking on the Twitch side.
Yeah, I want to add you as a mod, but all right, I'll figure. I don't want to keep people bored with that one, but we'll figure it out. I thought I'd modded Eric K at one point, but he probably told me how to do it.
That's too funny.
I can't right click, but yeah, who the heck knows? What do I know? I'm a Luddite.
By the way, Retrobuster's got a video coming out tomorrow, I think, about the Playmobil Enterprise.
Oh, he does? Awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I think
he beat me to it. I keep saying I'm gonna do that damn video, never did.
He just put up a thing on Twitter, so he's gonna make sure. So yeah, he Yep, so he does have one coming out. So you can still beat him to it though. It's just coming soon. So maybe it's not.
I got to beat him. Yep.
Try to get that out.
That's the classic. Yeah. Well, I did have a new video the other day on, and I've got one coming on pigs in space on the Muppets. So yeah, check out those videos and be much appreciated. And here's this.
One. That'll be good.
I don't know who did this, but kudos to this artist.
A beautiful image.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So someone did a great job taking. That was a picture of George with his desk, and did a nice in memoriam there. Right. So really great work by that. Whoever, I'd like to give credit if I knew who did it, but
I saw it on Twitter, but I can't remember.
I saw it on Twitter and I copied it. Yes, but of course, no one, the artist didn't put their. Maybe they don't care, but they didn't put their name or
Might have been Pat Zurcher or somebody like that, but I can't be for sure. So.
But I'm sure they don't mind us sharing that.
I don't think so.
That picture, it's on that picture around. But the artist's name was there. I'd love to give him credit. So, check out Clobbering Times on Monday night. I'll be on Thursday night with the Clubhouse and back during the week. And I've got a few videos. And I did actually upload a couple of fun, silly videos this week. So here's a silly one.
Klingons do not procrastinate. It is a tactical delay.
And this one.
I do not see why it is necessary to wear these ridiculous uniforms.
Protocol.
They look like dresses.
That is an incredibly outmoded and sexist attitude. Surprised at you. Besides, you look good in a dress.
Gosh, that was cringy.
Years ahead
and then he turned and smiled at him with that Riker smile. Oh man.
Oh, Jill got the book for Mother's Day. That's great. That was a book I just did a review for the video stuck on Star Trek with all the stickers. So
nice.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yes, Captain Cockney, help me remember that because it is the Blade Runner anniversary year, so I may as well go ahead and rewatch that again. I keep forgetting. I need people to remind me about it.
Yep.
I never get to watch anything from my own choice. It's always reviewing stuff.
Yep.
These days. I'm not even kidding. Last week I had a review of 50. Man, it's killing me. So I just occasionally just throw a little cartoon on to enjoy myself. I never get to pick what I watch anymore. Damn it. Yeah. Wah.
Yep. Worf is the best. Worf is good. Yep.
Please help me remember, Cockney. We're good.
Yep. But so check out. Hopefully, I'll get my pigs in space video. And I'm getting a little bit better at video. Not that I'm any good at it, but I've been adding some neat, little scenes to my video. So videos.
It's
so
fun when you
gradually
find out
learning
how to do something. Oh, I can do that. Oh,
and my brother-in-law's a professional, and he just laughs at me, and he's like, "And your intros are way too long. They should be 10 seconds." I'm like, "Well, why don't you edit it for me?"
About mine, so I'm thinking
and he's
chopping them down.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, I'm like, why don't you do it?" He's like, "You can't afford me." He's teasing. He would do it.
Wow.
He would do it for me if we were teasing each other today. But he's like, I'm like, well, when it's a live stream, it's different than like a regular video, I think too. But yeah. But so thanks to editor of Jill, the awesome Hungry Boy, Captain Cockney Spock, Kal-El. We had a great crowd here tonight. Gwagnar, Zanzolton. Let's see, who else? Matthew Pounder was here. Let's see. Now with StreamYard, you can go through the whole list. Monkey Jeebus, Sherry was here. We had Truck Dog and Six and Polly's Minion. I think I said Cal. I can't remember. Rob Altus
for further comment.
Yes, my good buddy Geoff here.
Hungry-ish.
Stephen Ransom, Rob Altus. We had a great big crowd here tonight. Yep.
Liam Graywolf.
Zax was here. Yep, Liam. Thank you for inviting Liam. The Tinderbot. Thank you. Good night, Tinderbot. Bot. Best of luck finding someone to date. I hope we don't see you again, though.
Dave dropped in.
TMF. Hey, TMF. The show was banging.
What's up, buddy?
That's awesome. We love TMF.
Someone switched him on for the night. He's just
Tiki of Doom was here.
Yeah, that's right.
So so I'm missing people, but it's about to turn 2 a.m. and my pumpkin's going to change back to a my carriage is going to change back to a pumpkin. So we always say I'm going to only do we only have a show that's 2 hours. We're doing 4 hours. We have so much damn fun. But I always appreciate everyone hanging out with us and watching the show, and it's been a great time. So really appreciate all you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yep. So let's bang on out of here, as TMF says. We don't have Lazarus's beard, but we'll play the classic, good old classic Blues Brothers to get us out of here in the middle of the night. And God bless George Perez. May rest in peace. Just love what that guy did. His comic book work, and he's gonna be missed. So let's put that up again. And it's a shame, but this guy, he'll be an immortal. He'll live forever. So take care, everyone, and catch you on the next Geekery.
Good night,
everyone.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.